1-1. Game 2 for the Dodgers and Phillies, Brewers and Cubs later tonight. The Giants are now 1-4. Lost to the Saints 26-14 in a game they turned the ball over 5 times. The Giants play the Eagles on Thursday night. And same old story for the Jets. 0-5. A big turnover leads to points. The other way for the other team. Cowboys beat New York 37-22 in the game that was 10-3 that wound up being 30-3 in a blink. Jets are in London to play the Broncos on Sunday. Sunday Night Football, the Patriots going to Orchard Park, beat the Bills 23-20. Tonight the Chiefs take on the Jaguars. West 1 coverage on the Fan at 8. This report brought to you by Moderna. 78 in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming our podcast on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN, The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey.
Oh, what an ugly day in New York sports yesterday, BT. You could see it coming a mile away with the Jets and Giants, with the Yankees maybe not as much. And with the Giants, the expectations going into yesterday's game was a lot of people thought this was going to be a bounce-back game for them. Or not bounce-back, but continuation of what they did against the Chargers and go out there and get their season back on track. And obviously that was not the case. But you're going to start to hear it. You heard Boomer talking about it this morning about, people are going to want Dable fired. And you and I have talked about this ad nauseum for a while. It is setting up to where the Giants are going to be in a situation where they're probably going to make the same mistake that we saw coming a mile away. And that's something I would not do. And that is judging Dable now on the wins or losses and moving on from him. You have to understand it's a rookie quarterback. Those type things are going to happen. Okay, you lost to a team maybe you thought you could beat. Not so much. Saints get the win down there, but I would still just evaluate and be patient and treat it as almost if it's year one with Brian Dable and a rookie quarterback.
I think you got to separate a couple things here, Sal. Number one, without Malik Neighbors, this season's going nowhere. I understand that there was a lot of excitement going into the game. The Giants were, in the eyes of some, supposed to win, certainly had a good chance to win, should have won. I'm talking about going into the game. Once you saw most of the game, you say to yourself, Giants got to find a way to finish this game. And if they would have done that, now you're 2-3, getting ready for the Eagles, kind of, clustering near 500. There's legitimate hope. When I say you got to separate everything, you got to separate the coach, you got to separate the quarterback. My problem is with the defense yesterday. This is what I just don't understand about the New York Giants. 1 week it's there, 1 week it's invisible, and I don't know why. I don't think Brian Dable's a good head coach. I've said that forever. I would not have brought him back this year. But like you say, I'm also willing to give him and Jackson Dart a chance to grow together. So it's not about firing Dable today. It's not about Dart is a stiff or what. No, Dart's going to be a stud. I've got a lot of belief in Jackson Dart's moxie, his skill set. The problem is there's still too many holes with the Giants team. And even if they would have won yesterday, where are they going?
Yeah.
Where?
Well, at least if they would have won, you could have said, all right, well, let's see what they can do, build off of it. Now, there are two separate issues. You're right about the defense, a sackless performance from the Giants defense. That just can't happen. They're supposed to be built on their defense. The problem is, over the Dable and Shane regime, too many times we've come in here on a Monday and said, well, that's a game where they could have won if they did this, if they did that. They could have, should have, would have. Here we are in year 4, and they're still losing those type games. I am going to separate the two because I think it's imperative that you do that. If you were in the belief of firing Brian Dable, and we both talked about this going into last year, that's fine. Then you should have done it and had a new regime pick a quarterback. They didn't. They decided to stick with Brian Dable. So for me, I'm going to evaluate this as it's Dable and Jackson Dart. And so far in 2 games, the offenses look competent.
Yep.
I'm not looking at the numbers. It's encouraging with the offense. You expect, okay, Scatterbo as well to fumble. Slayton stinks. He can't fumble the football. Get him out of here. I've had enough of him. Running this man. He stinks. Slayton's not a NFL receiver. I'm sorry. I don't care who has to hear it. How many films you need to break down. Darius Slayton should not be a receiver in the NFL, let alone a top receiver because Neighbors goes down.
Yep.
End of story. He's just not good enough. We've watched it for how many years? Not good enough. Period. Scatterbo's a rookie, so that's going to happen, and he's frustrated by it. The guy runs his rear end off. Fumbles happen. You give the defense credit poking the ball out of there. And Jackson Dart was to blame for 3 of the turnovers. And again, some of that's on a rookie receiver not running the right route. Some of it's on the rookie quarterback. That's going to happen. So if I'm just choosing to ignore all that's happened with Dable prior, because I think you have to in this particular case, let's evaluate Dable with his young rookie quarterback, Jackson Dart. And I think offensively, at least it's looked better than anything I've seen with since Brian Dable's taken over here.
See, it has. You look at the Giants coming out of the chute the last couple of weeks here. They're moving the football. They're getting points first drive, second drive. They're showing a flow. So whatever they're doing during the week is transferring to the early parts of Sunday, and then you play a 60-minute game. The other components that they're clearly lacking start to rise up. And obviously yesterday, just the coughing it up a ridiculous amount of times. They're nowhere near good enough on the road to overcome, even against a bad Saints team. I guess we're saying the same thing on some level here. I guess where I'm going to splinter off a little bit, even if Dart continues to look good, and I believe that the Giants have the quarterback of the future. To what extent, I don't know. I don't really know, but I do believe that Jackson Dart is the starter next year, the year after that, and the year after that. I think they got the right kid. He's got an arm. He's got wheels. He's got a good body. He's got men follow him.
Right.
Grown
Right
men follow him. The right attitude. I think he's built for New York. I think he's built to help elevate the New York Giants. I truly do. But even if he plays well, and like the other components, even the way the Giants constructed their game day roster yesterday, the way Brian Dable talked about that at the post-game press conference, like, I don't believe, even if Dart shines and plays well, that they have to be married together.
See,
I'm not of that mindset.
Yeah, that's where we will, because now you're getting
I don't think
yourself
Dable's
into
good enough to say that, like, across the board. You know what I mean? And I get it that relationship is certainly paramount and first and foremost to the evolution of the Giants. But if there's other aspects of Brian Dable's coaching, which I don't believe in at all, then I'm not going to let that supersede everything, just him and Dart. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. And it's a fair take. I just disagree with it because the Giants have done this before. We've seen them do this before. They did it with the prior regime. How many times over with Daniel Jones? Forced Daniel Jones on Brian Dable. He had success the first year, but failed after that. Now he finally has his own guy, and I'm afraid that they're going to judge him based off of the win-loss record and then move on from Dable and potentially Shane, and then it's going to be all about Jackson Dart with a new head coach. That is not, to me, the recipe for success. So I understand what you're saying, BT, and I understand the Giant fans who are saying, Dable, I've had enough of him. He can't coach, blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, once they made the decision last year to retain Joe Shane and Brian Dable and then select Jackson Dart, that means they're married for at least another year together. That's the way that I would do it. I think they have to show patience and discipline here. You're seeing something like Giants football has been putrid for a long time. Giants football with Brian Dable, outside of that year one aberration, has been even more putrid, certainly offensively. That has not been the case with Jackson Dart. They're moving the football. They're scoring more touchdowns. Is it enough? No, but to me it is a step in the right direction, and I'm not willing to blow it up just because the defense isn't getting it together.
Yep.
Factor in some of the injuries, also because of what Dable's done before. I would not. I'm looking at this, right or wrong, I am looking at this year one, Brian Dable, Jackson Dart, and see what they can do.
Okay, let me ask you this. I know Giant fans want to jump in. We'll obviously get the calls. We'll get to the Yankees, of course. So, to me, think about what we've watched Giant football, what it's been for years. I mean, couldn't score, boring, just nothing. So it feels better, and aesthetically, certainly the first couple of the drives look better. Giants moving the ball, and Dart is, and obviously the coach, they have a good relationship with this, is a big piece of the puzzle why they look better. Dart, okay? But what if he levels off a little bit? Like, what if the opening drives start to fade and the juice, and I don't even know that it will.
You saw the yesterday in game.
It's true, and I just think as the year goes on, without Malik Neighbors, it's going to get tougher and tougher and tougher and tougher and tougher. So I ask you, and I get your concept, like, if Dart's showing promise, then this is the next, you have to at least go into next year with Dable and Dart. I understand that. Like, I get the concept. I just don't think that Dable's distinguished himself enough in the other areas for myself to marry that concept. But we're also reacting to pretty good Jackson Dart early. What if it becomes average the rest of the way? You still going with Dable?
Let's see. That's
so up for evaluation still.
That's exactly right. And we could tie the Jets in here for a second. You're right. We get to the Yankees. Obviously, a lot to get to from yesterday. We're in evaluation mode. I told you with the Jets, I'm not. Now, we had a difference of opinion on that. I am not judging Aaron Glenn based on the record. We could get into, it's worse than beyond the record, whatever it may be. This is year one. What we do here in this town that to me is incorrect is overreact to wins and losses when you should know better. You certainly should know better with the Jets and a rookie head coach. Like, what'd you really expect? And then in this particular case with the Giants, once they made the decision to go to Jackson Dart, for me, this season, wins-loss talent-wise, off the table. It should have always been anyway. Like Russell Wilson, come on. Do you really think the Giants are going to be a playoff team? No. So they made the decision to go to Jackson Dart. Now, wins and losses are off the table. We're evaluating for the first time Brian Daboll as a head coach with his hand-picked quarterback. We've seen 2 games. One, they won against the Chargers in an upset that nobody thought was coming.
They beat a good team.
And one, they had a big letdown, and that happens with the rookie quarterback having 3 turnovers. Like, that happens. It's 2 games. So Jackson Dart shouldn't be put in the Hall of Fame after beating the Chargers. Brian Daboll shouldn't be kicked to the curb. I know what you're saying. Like, if I'm judging Daboll on his resume, he shouldn't have had this year to survive. Like, he shouldn't have survived this year. He shouldn't have had this year to give him another chance. But they did give him another chance, and he did pick his rookie quarterback. So I am not evaluating on the wins and losses. I'm evaluating on how he and Dart progress the entirety of the rest of the year.
I get it. I do. So we'll get the calls here. I look at Daboll, and I've seen some game day roster decisions which have been beyond head scratching. I know he's an offensive background coach. I see too often the defense is just absent.
Yeah.
And now that, Shane put all those, so that's a Shane thing to an extent.
So, I mean, they do have talent. I don't understand it.
That's what I'm saying here. So to me, there's not enough evidence that Daboll is going to be the kind of coach like a Coughlin, like a Parcells. There's no evidence of that, quite frankly, that the Giants will win a Super Bowl with Daboll. I get it with the Dart-Daboll connection, but to me, He's got a lot more to prove, and there's no way I'm sitting here saying even if Dart plays well the rest of the year, that I'm absolutely bringing back Daboll. I'm not saying that.
BT Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. We'll get to the Yankees coming up in a little bit. We mentioned the Jets a little bit, but we're starting with the Giants. Anthony's in New Paltz. What's up, Ant?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Good.
What's up, Ant?
Nothing. I'm just calling. I agree. I agree with you, BT. I think with Daboll, there's too many holes in his coaching in general. Even if we do see, Dart start to show more success, it seems like the common theme with Daboll since he's been in New York, and I know it's not necessarily all on him, is inconsistency. I mean, Daniel Jones looked good at times under him. Then he looked awful. DeVito won some games, put up 30 points. And then now we see, Daniel Jones in Indianapolis. I know the team is better than what he had in New York, but it seems like he doesn't really show like he has too much confidence in his players at times. Like, there was parts of the game yesterday where the sideline just looked dead, and we were still in it against an 0-5 team. And I think that's partially on Daboll. Like, you got to bring the whole team together, not just Jackson Dart.
Look, I get it. And thanks for the call,
That's
man.
his job.
It's impossible to defend Brian Daboll on his resume since he's been here. I am choosing to ignore that for the betterment of their future, where I want the head coach and quarterback to be on the same page. Think about it. You fire Daboll at the end of the year. They're not going to fire him in season, I wouldn't think, even if it gets bad.
Probably not.
You fire Daboll, now you're chasing again. Like, who's the head coach you're going to bring in? You're going to go get John Gruden because you love Jackson Dart? And that's, by the way, one of the more experienced guys out there, and I highly doubt the Giants will do that. Well, then we're going to be down the same road again. Okay, well, new head coach, rookie head coach, or see what happens with the quarterback that he didn't pick. And then if Dart throws a couple of interceptions in the first few weeks next year, it's going to be like, well, Tankathon is on. He didn't pick Jackson Dart. Maybe Jackson Dart doesn't have it. Like, we've seen this script coming a mile away. That's why I know it's impossible to defend Brian Daboll. Look at his record. We know that. We watch the game. We watch the teams every week. However, I do think, BT, that it would be the right thing for the organization at least one more year. Well, you've come this far. What's another year beyond this year? Let's just watch how this year plays out. It's week 5, for goodness sake. Week 5. Let's play this year out, see what happens at the end of it. I would bring them back at least one more year together.
I know how it's going to go. I mean, they're not going to beat the Eagles. They're going to get drilled by good teams. They'll probably lose a couple of games that they shouldn't. I mean, who knows how many games the Giants are going to be favored the rest of the year? Maybe one, maybe 2. So I don't think we're not going to be in a surprise here. We could take this to the bank. We'll be sitting here in December. Giants will have 3 or 4 wins. Like, Giants are going absolutely no. Without Neighbors, they have no shot. And to me, like, it's even the 8 accepted penalties, 100 yards, man. Like, that is part of coaching. That is on Brian Daboll. And the other thing that I see here, Sal, and I get it, and I really do. Like, when you brought Daboll back, you basically brought him back for 2026 as well, in the eyes of many,
right?
Because of the relationship. That was probably the biggest theme for us, as we diagnose what awaits the Giants here, right? But the issue for me, or actually a good thing for me, is that I think that Jackson Dart, as an early read, admittedly, is resilient enough to deal with a coaching change. Like, I don't think that he's so dependent on Brian Daboll to hold Brian Daboll's hand and, have these Brian Daboll training wheels that if the Giants made a decision for the betterment of the entire franchise that they were going with a different coach, that the young quarterback couldn't adjust. I believe that he absolutely could.
Me neither. I'm not sure if he could handle it or not, but that's not the number one reason for me. You also want to build a culture of, continuity and have some sustainability as opposed to keep turning it over. So now you're going to have, let's say, a rookie quarterback who was drafted by Shane and Daboll.
Yeah.
And after 1 year of losing, they're going to fire, just say hypothetically, Daboll and potentially Shane as well. Now you have the rookie quarterback who was drafted by another regime sitting in a losing organization because they just fired everybody that he knew, bringing in a whole new group of people, and they're going to be judged immediately in year 2 of the rookie quarterback. Like, to me, it just comes down to, and I understand the side of it, you believe in Daboll as a head coach or not, and if you don't, and there's plenty of reason not to, you value that more than just keeping some continuity at least for another year. I would value, even though I know he hasn't been great as a head coach, value keeping the continuity for at least 1 more year.
See, to me, continuity for continuity purpose makes no sense. If you are not even average. I mean, we wish the Giants were average. If you are substandard multiple years in a row, that is not continuity that I'm looking to keep. I'm actually looking to get away from it. Though, again, I understand what you're saying. I also think, and I wasn't sure about this, even though I liked what the Giants did moving up to get Dart and Carter at number 3. We love their draft. I also think that what Dart's already put on tape, and it's early, I get that, but if they did move on from Daboll, that it would be an appealing job for an established coach, because I think it's very easy to look at Dart and say he's going to be good. I want to coach that young man.
Fair enough, but think about this, BT. It's week 5.
But it's not. It's really week 55 because Daboll's been here forever.
But they played 2 games together.
Yeah, I know.
Daboll's coached 2 games with Jackson Dart as a starter.
I know.
Like, there's a whole slate of games left this season. Maybe definitively we know, and I'm with you at the end of the year. And like, you know what? It's so bad. I don't care about the continuity. I don't care who picked him. You've got to change it. Maybe it's not. And I have reason to believe that based off of the first 2 games that it does feel better with Jackson Dart under center for Brian Daboll than it did before. John is in Valley Stream. What's up, John?
Guys, for my sanity and my good health, we got to stop talking about Daboll. He's irrelevant. He's a middling coach. Keep him. Get rid of him. Who cares? Joe Shane is a moron. a ghetto bum level moron. We can't keep doing this and talking about the wrong things here. What talent has this man brought into this team? The answer is nothing. What has he done? And we're still talking about Daboll.
Well, Daboll's the head coach, John. So to me, that's
who brought him in?
We've gotten into Joe Shane. So I'm not sure what you want us to.
No, but he's the only conversation, and you're missing that.
No, he's not.
Daboll doesn't matter.
John, first of all, it takes a while. You don't want to hear this. It takes a while for a general manager to fully have his imprint on it.
4 years.
Yeah. Okay. It's 5 weeks into year 4.
No, but you have 4 years
John,
of busted draft classes. This is insanity.
How many quarterbacks has Shane taken?
How many quarterbacks?
In the drafts.
Quarterbacks, yeah. Do I stutter? How many quarterbacks has Shane taken, John?
Stutter, but you're insane today.
How many quarterbacks?
Big deal. He can't fill out a roster. Are you blind?
I'm not saying he could or not. I'm saying you're looking in the wrong spot. You're a Giant fan, John?
The wrong spot? The 2023 draft.
Are you a
not
Giant?
One player.
Are you a Giant fan?
No. I'm calling you because I'm a Bills fan.
I'm asking you. Okay. I'm asking. Well, then you.
Do I need to state the obvious, Sal?
Okay.
Or is it going to go completely bonkers?
I'm going to ask you another question. Do you like Jackson Dart?
Sal, you want to stay with these 2 guys for another year? Have you lost your mind?
Do you like Jackson Dart, John?
I don't know if I like Jackson.
Okay, and I can't do it anymore.
See, to me, you have to, John, I appreciate the passion. I get it. But you got to have an opinion on Dart early. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to remain married to. That's a pretty easy question. Do you like Jackson Dart? I mean, I could sit here and rifle off 10 things about the Giants that we don't like. Right. The one thing, and maybe 1 or 2 other little things is that Jackson Dart shows real promise. So it's not even about Shane for what you and I are starting the show with here. Right. It's about the relationship and the promise in a small sample that the head coach, who at times has seemed overwhelmed here, and the young quarterback who has not. If that's a good marriage, you don't want to blow it up. What I'm saying is so far, and again, could it change by the end of the year? I guess anything could. I just think the Giants are picking top 5 again. I think the Giants win 3 or 4 games, so I don't think I'll change my opinion. But if Dart goes bonkers without Neighbors, and even if they don't win a lot, but they put up points and they move the football and they look buttoned up and they're going in the right direction, then I will man up and I will say, you know what? I do think that Dable's probably good for Dart, and despite the deficiencies, I would bring him back. But right now, I'm not feeling that at all.
And by the way, BT, for the record, it's not like I'm some Joe Shane supporter. I'm not. As a matter of fact, I would have sided with Brian Dable prior to Joe Shane. The problem is, first of all, the Giants keep talking about how they loved his draft last year, this year.
Every year they tell us.
And it's more likely, I would bet, at least it was a year ago, and I would bet still now, and I think Pat Leonard said this with us recently, it's more likely that they keep Shane and fire Dable
he did say that.
than the other way around. And I'm not saying that would be right. All I'm saying is I would evaluate this as if it is year 1. And by the way, it does take time. So like, you just want to get into this. GM stinks, fire him. Okay, fire him. Just like you did all the 15 guys before. What do you think's going to happen? They're going to hire another guy. They're not going to win right away. It's going to be GM stinks. Fire him again. Look at the Jets. The Giants and the Jets are the same thing. It's the same thing every time. 2-3 years in. Fire this guy, fire that guy. Bring in somebody else. Is it them or is it the actual organization? That's the deeper issue. All I'm saying that is in this particular spot, you finally have what we've waited for. A general manager, a head coach to have their quarterback. And the young quarterback in 2 games has shown some promise here. I just want to see it through. That's it. BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll get to the Yankees coming up this hour, as well as your calls on the Giants. Do some Jets. Plenty to do today. We got A-Rod coming on 1 o'clock. BT set that up with his boy A-Rod, so he's coming on at 1 o'clock. We'll talk some Yanks with him. 888-808-1019, the number to call. Stop dealing with your neck pain, backache, sciatica, and go to Dr. Jay Schott, Samwell Institute for Pain Management, a migraine and nerve pain specialist who gets you back to feeling yourself again. With minimally invasive and non-surgical treatments, there are thousands of 5-star reviews who trust Dr. J for pain-relieving solutions. Same day and next day appointments available with offices in Colonia, Livingston, and Englewood, New Jersey. Turn to Samwell Pain for effective pain-relieving solutions. Visit SamwellPain.com.
A disappointing weekend in Toronto leaves the Yankees with their backs to the wall, facing elimination.
Swing and a miss, got him. All game over. And the Blue Jays take a 2-0 lead in this ALDS.
A return home to the Bronx could be just what the Bombers need to turn things around.
We haven't lost any confidence. Obviously they've had our number and gotten the better of us so far this year. But I don't think anyone in our room doesn't feel like we can't go out and beat them.
Catch all the action tomorrow. First pitch, 8:08 on your home for New York Yankees baseball. 1019 WFAN. And always live on the free Odyssey app.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Union, and Freehold, New Jersey. 3 powerhouse locations, 1 legendary name. Ray Katina. More selection, more convenience, and more ways to drive excellence. Experience the power of 3. Visit benzfam.com.
So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx. Made some mistakes, but eventually becomes one of those hard-working citizens who keep our city going. But he gets pulmonary fibrosis, and his only hope is a lung transplant. When one hospital, Montefiore Einstein, get him a new lung, and they give him a new life.
Right.
Everyone in his neighborhood is like,
they give that guy a new lung or a new motor.
the story, Mr. Giamatti. Well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera. You lived it.
Everyone loves a comeback. Montefiore Einstein, national leader in transplant.
Rock and roll will never die, and neither will the low prices. It's the Rocktober savings event at Nielsen Dodge. We've turned up the volume on Rocktober savings on any new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $199 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X 4x4, just $224 a month.
We're rocking out the deals with 0 down payment available. $1,500 overbooked value for any trade. If you need credit help, we're here to make it happen. And of course, great deals.
On Route 10 in East Hanover, online at NielsenDodge.com, a proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So for head-banging deals that are music to your ears, at At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Drive into fall event.
With approval term 24 months, due at sign, Cherokee 5794, Cherokee L 5819, ag tax time 498 doc and DMV.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Want fast, reliable home internet? Switch to Verizon Fios, where you get the 100% fiber optic network with speeds up to 2 gig. And if you're looking for live TV with up to 400 plus channels and live sports, Fios TV is where it's at. Get the internet speed you want and the TV you love when you bundle Fios home internet and TV with Verizon. Plus, get the latest deals when you call 1-883-VERIZON and switch to Verizon Fios today. Availability varies.
Hey, this is Tiki Barber. Those of us living in New Jersey got hit with a 20% electric rate increase. If your current heating system is over 15 years old, it's time for a new high-efficiency Carrier system. And there's only one company to call for a new one. My friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts for over 38 years. Older heating systems waste gas. So get your system checked now and save money with Edison Heating and Cooling. Contact them now at edisonhvac.com. That's edisonhvac.com.
More BT and Sal coming up on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
House stealing. It's a nightmare that's real. It's the FBI's term for thieves stealing your home's title and draining your equity. Just one fake document filed with a recorder, and scammers can own your home on paper, drain your equity, and do it all without you even knowing. Imagine waking up to a foreclosure or eviction notice. Listen to former title thief Matt Cox.
What people don't realize is the ease in which this crime can happen. I can take the deed to your house and I can transfer that deed into my name. It's a great crime, and it's happening all the time.
So how can you stop the nightmare and protect yourself? Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO and get a 30-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Don't wait. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Promo code RADIO.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
Mnexspike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna has arrived. To learn more and find it near you, visit mnexspike.com. That's MNEXSPIKE.com.
Have something to say? Dial us 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount.
BT Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call. Sports Talk on WFAN, presented by Paramount Plus. Can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. It's a tough conversation, BT. We're down the same road. This is so predictable here. That's why I just, look, this is basically evaluation mode. We don't know. I could sit here today and say, I am riding with Dart and Dable, and I want to see what they can do the rest of the year and then probably next year as well, because I think then that's a proper evaluation. You would know definitively, much like we talk about a starting pitcher. take him out when he gets knocked out.
Yep.
Well, right now, I think the jury is still out on Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen. Obviously, it's not favorable to those guys, although they did make the postseason in year one. But for me, the true evaluation comes when they select their quarterback. So it's year one, 2 games into their quarterback getting a start. I just need to see a little bit more before I would want to move on and then start a whole new mess of things where you have certain things in place and then a new GM that it's going to take 3 or 4 years to see his roster and a new head coach and how many years we got to evaluate him. That's where I'm at.
I would tell you one way I feel very good about Brian Daboll. If you took his coaching record and completely flipped it, then I would feel great because then there would be incremental progress. So he's got 1 win so far this year, 3 last year, 6 the year before that, and then obviously 9. Now you're moving in the wrong direction, but what's really happened is he won 9, then he won 6, then he won 3, and now he's at 1, and I probably think be in the neighborhood of 3 again. So it's not all his fault. I'm not saying that. I just don't see a disciplined team. I don't see a smart team. I do see some talent in certain spots. I don't think that it's completely devoid of talent, which is even less reason for me to have conviction in Daboll. Like there's just like the Titans don't, even though they won.
Yeah,
that was crazy. They don't have a lot of talent, right? The Jets defense has almost no talent in terms of the secondary. And I'm not making a pass for Glenn here, but like the Giants, I believe, just have more difference makers than the Jets. It's close, but I think that they do. So to me, when you're just among the worst teams consistently in the NFL, I'm not getting on a chair and saying, I believe in this guy, because I don't.
Would you keep Shane?
I'd clean house. I'd get rid of them both.
Right. Well, I mean, just to play to the last caller's point, like we've talked about it before. Yeah, well, that's one thing definitively I would never do. I would never. I don't even want to move on from those guys now, even though I would have fired them before they drafted their quarterback. Mm-hmm. But the last thing I would want to do is fire one and keep the other, meaning fire Daboll and keep Joe Schoen. Never I would do that. All right, let's get back to the calls here. Brad is in Mineola. What's up, Brad?
Gentlemen, happy Monday, said nobody after all the stuff the New York fans went through yesterday.
Yep.
But I will tell you this. I think when it all comes down to it and you look at it brass tacks, the game against the Chargers was great. The defense played well. The first 2 drives yesterday were absolutely incredible. Looked like the team was on a roll and going to win 2 in a row going into the Philly game on Thursday. Now, what happened and what I pointed to is 2 really bad drops, the flea flicker and then the other pass to Slayton, which, by the way, he shouldn't be on the field. That's another thing. It's the only options we have. We lost the game because of rookie mistakes and because a Saints defensive end was able to get the ball away from Cam Scatterbo. And a game we should have won, we lost, but I'm putting it down to rookie mistakes, and these 2 guys are absolute animals, and I look forward to watching them every Sunday, meaning Cam Scatterbo.
So do we, and so do I. I just want a better coach coaching them. I agree. I love Scatterbo, and I love Dart.
Oh, BT, I agree with you. I agree with you, but the one thing I'm going to say about that, and I know you keep saying get rid of Daboll, get rid of Daboll, get rid of Daboll. Last year, we lost Andrew Thomas. Obviously, that took a hit to everything that we had. This year, we now lost Malik Neighbors. The Giants had to play 2 defensive ends yesterday. Every single play. Mm-hmm. Bellinger and Johnson were the game plan, besides Scatterbo running the ball up the middle and Jackson Dart doing his thing.
I know.
You have to adapt, and it seems like they adapted, but obviously, rookie mistakes did us in yesterday.
They were moving the football. You can't win with 5 turnovers. End of story. And that's on the rookies. I mean, that's on the rookies. Scatterbo, on Slayton, who shouldn't be on the team. To me, he's so overrated. I shouldn't say overrated, but I never was a fan of Darius Slayton before. This is going back years. I mean, we've watched him for years here. There's no way. And he talks a big game, and it's, he's the pro, and he's been here a while. He's terrible. He's not an NFL wide receiver. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be disrespectful. He's just not. They needed him to step up, and he fumbles the football. It may be the worst mistake of the game yesterday. You could live with some of the rookie mistakes. Some of the rookie mistakes. You cannot live with that. Inexcusable. The one thing I would say, though, too, about the defense, BT, because they were moving the football, those mistakes cost them. The defense, to me, is just not aggressive enough. They need to be an attacking defense. I don't know if it's just sitting back and relying on those guys to go get them, whether it's Burns or Kayvon, obviously Carter or Dexter to do his thing. Like, the secondary's not great. Sure, they have some players there, but their defense is not, for all the names that they have and all the talent that they have, they should be a swarming defense that wreaks havoc in the backfield.
Yep.
And they have not done that, period.
I mean, how many times have we sat back and watched the Giants defense, obliterate somebody's game plan? The answer is basically never. Strip sacks and, pick sixes and house and fumbles. I mean, you don't see any of it.
Right.
And if you have a bad defense, that's understandable. But when you have a defense with some high-level electric talent, like we've talked a lot about Kayvon. Kayvon's taken a nice step this year. He's made some. He looks better to me all around. So to me, and we know all the other names. We don't need to just spit them out all the time. Mm-hmm. But when you have all those names, you have first-round picks, you trade for Burns, you give him a contract. I mean, and the defense still doesn't really do a whole lot. Well, that's just unacceptable. So there's a lot of issues with the Giants. Dart seems to be one of the big answers moving forward. But I think they're going to get pummeled by Philly. I don't see, even like the game when the schedule came out, even like you look down the road, well, the Patriots, Giants going to beat the Patriots this year? Really? You see the game last night? I mean, who are the Giants beating? And if they don't beat anybody, which I'm not so sure that they will, and they go 3-14, I don't know how you justify bringing back the coach. I could not do that.
Mario calling from Long Beach. What's up, Mario?
Nope.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good show, as always.
Hey.
Little thing on the Giants. I think I like Dart, but I got a real problem. I think he's got to be careful the way he runs. He's going to get hurt. He's taken too many hits. He needs to understand how to play a little better. Maybe that'll come with time, but we have to be careful about that with this guy.
Well,
he runs too and he takes too many hits. I don't know what you guys feel. I'll listen to your response.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you.
You got him, Eric. Thank you. I'm sure. I mentioned the Pats last night. I'm sure you guys were watching the game. You remember the play where Josh Allen had a pretty nice run and he tried to deliver a stiff arm to the guy behind him. Do you remember that play?
No,
Like he was going up the flats there. Sometimes you try to stiff somebody in front of you. Josh actually leaned backwards and tried to, mush somebody behind him. Hey, if you're a buck that wants to run wild in the wilderness, nobody's changing you. And Josh Allen has that in him. I think Dart has a lot of that in him. Yes, you do want to learn when it's time to slide and when it's not. But one of the great things, or potentially really good things about Dart, is this energy and this toughness and this willingness to go in there and mix it up. And I don't know that if you strip that away from him, he's not Jackson Dart.
Yeah, also, you can't worry about injury. Quarterbacks who run more are more apt to get injured. That's a part of the NFL today. So many quarterbacks run. You can't just say, well, you got to protect him and prevent him from getting hurt. By the way, you could get hurt, too, just sitting back in the pocket. Look at Joe Burrow, who's been banged up, or others. Brock Purdy, all the other guys that are just pocket passers or more pocket passers that have gotten banged up. The thing that I loved about Dart, and they were talking about this on the broadcast yesterday, is that he says, they said he's got to learn to slide, which is understood. You have to be able to protect yourself. Running is good. Being smart is even better. But Dart said something that I've always believed in as a fan. Sliding on third down doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. Like, if I'm going to run, I'm running to get the first down. After I get the first down, then I'll slide. But I'm not sliding on third down. I want the first down. And that's the right way to me. So you want to be smart about it and prevent injury, but you also want to play the game the right way. First and second down, you want to slide? Mm-hmm. Sure enough. Third down, that's not the time to be sliding.
You got to try to win.
Yeah, right.
You got to try to win. Move the stakes. I'm with you.
Cecil is calling from Franklin Square. What's up, Cecil?
Hey, guys. Great job as always. Just want to chime in. You kind of started touching on it just a few moments ago. Recently, I was listening to a former NFL great defensive player on a very popular podcast, the PBD podcast. And he was talking about his playing days, but how he eventually became the coach on the field and helping the defensive coordinator. I was thinking of, with this defensive team and the struggles with the Giants, there's no identity. I don't feel like there's an identity to the Giants like we used to have. And the name I'm going to just throw out there is someone like a Ray Lewis. He was talking about how he would go to the coach and say, we need to get this player out. We need to get this player in. This is where they should be. He would spend hours before and after practice, not training, but actually looking at tape, working with the coaches. And I don't want to say he could be an eventual head coach, but I think Shane Bowen, there was no identity in Tennessee. There was no results in Tennessee. And now we come here and we have no identity now. Ray Lewis, he's a leader of men. He can bring an identity, a passion and energy. It also kind of puts Dable in his place, because you could tell Dable doesn't like that kind of strong personality type A. He just kind of puts everyone else around him. So I think Ray Lewis, I want to throw his name out there in the ring to become defensive coordinator and help the Giants just reestablish an identity.
I mean, thanks for the call, Cecil. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm saying it's an idea that, to me, is out there at the moment. Like, there may be a time, BT, where the Giants decide to fire everybody, and then you can talk about who you'd want in as the defensive coordinator. Maybe they keep everybody but fire Bowen. Like, that's a possibility as well. And then maybe you could bring up Ray Lewis. I would not go there. I think it's interesting, though, that Cecil would say that Dable likes to have he wants to be the alpha male. And I think that the head coach should be the alpha male. The problem is the Giants haven't had that much success since Wink Martindale, who also wanted to be the alpha male, since he left. And I still think that was the right move. Unfortunately, Dable hasn't had success without Wink.
And Wink was the real alpha male. I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, the Giants' success with Wink is undeniable. The Giants' success without Wink is also undeniable. So it's just cluttered, man. I mean, here we are again. It's just another one of these seasons that's going nowhere. The one difference, optically, at least Giant fans, unlike the Jet fans, you get to sit down, you get to see, what Dart is going to be. But other than that, there's just really not much to gravitate to. And I'm at the end of the rope with Dable. No disrespect. To me, he's not the guy, and he never will be.
BT and Sal on the Fan. More your calls when we come back. We'll get to the Yankees as well. 888-808-1019.
Yeah, it's going to be another pleasant conversation. The Yankees, my God. All right, so the FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets. So from yards to touchdowns, who's going to win with FanDuel? Any play can be the play of the game. Now, tonight, everybody's getting a 30% profit boost token. That's right, jumping on the fun with a 30% profit boost token this Monday. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/BT to bet on the game. That's FanDuel.com/BT. I mean, if we're going to watch these teams play, our locals, may as well bet against them and win some money. FanDuel.com/BT. 30% profit boost token, and you can have some fun with that. I love the app. It's simple. I've told you about FanDuel for years. Easy to navigate. When you win, you get paid right away. It's safe, secure, which is what really matters. Of course, the official sports betting partner of the NFL, but also the official sportsbook partner of WFAN. Must be 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
It's Boomer and Gio, mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
They always make the playoffs. They're always right there, but then they always get beat by a better team. They're never the best team that's failing. They're just not good enough.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The 3-1 Jags host the 2-2 Chiefs in the biggest game in Jacksonville in some time. Are Liam Cohen's Jags for real? The defense has played well. Now, meantime, the availability of Xavier Worthy, now questionable, makes a difference for Kansas City for sure. It should be close, and that swings the advantage back to Patrick Mahomes. I do like the Chiefs, 27-23. Enjoy the games, everyone. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Talk Yankees.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Designed for working adults focused on the future. Classes start October 15th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Game day starts with the right truck, and Arnold Chevrolet has yours. Over 50 Silverado models in stock, from the family-friendly 1500 to the heavy-duty 3500 built to tow, haul, and handle any job. And right now, save up to $7,500 off MSRP. That's right, $7,500 off on select Silverado models. Our loyal sales and management team has been helping Long Island drivers for decades. And this season, we're serving up tailgate deals on our full lineup of trucks and SUVs. Visit Arnold Chevrolet in West Babylon or online at arnoldsautos.com. Because nobody discounts like Arnold. Include Chevrolet, select market purchase, loyalty to qualify.
Nobody beats a Town Fair tire deal. And I mean nobody. So if you're looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price, get to Town Fair today. Michelin winter tires offer a shorter stopping distance on ice and snow, along with predictable handling in cold, dry, and wet wintry conditions. For the guaranteed lowest price and free services for life on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all of your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right, you get in on all the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/Boomer to bet on the game. That's FanDuel.com/Boomer to get in on all the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. Now, we all love the app around here. It is safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official partner of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
I gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistent scent, all over Febreze car clips right on your bed. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
Your friends pretend they know sports. WFAN actually does. Get smarter, louder, and way more annoying at watch parties. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
All right, BT and Sal back on the Fan. Giants misery, Jets misery. Let's start working in the other aspect of the misery, the Yankees. Wow. Just punked all up and down in Toronto. Time for the Corona Lime Time highlight of the night.
Guerrero at the dish at a 2-1 count. He's looking to unload right here. 2-1. Pitch. He did. Deep drive, left field, grand slam.
Yeah, no doubt or no question. That's how it sounded here on The Fan. Of course, Dave Sims, Sousa Wallman, BT and Sal back with you. And the highlight, I mean, the bat flip, the where that ball went, the energy. I'll tell you, we don't really look at Toronto too often as one of these really good baseball venues. But, man, when they're packed and they're good, that place is pretty nuts.
I like the roof open. I've never been with the roof open before, but, yeah, that looked like one of the best atmospheres going in the postseason right now.
Just a horrendous performance. So we'll throw the Yanks on the table here. You know, listen, Boone had a rough weekend. Weaver, I mean, first of all, the explanations from Weaver post-game, I don't know what he's hinting at, pitching, tipping pitches, Toronto cheating, whatever he's trying to get at, I don't want to hear it. I would have left him in Toronto. Like, there's no way I'm letting Weaver pitch again. And if Boone does, he's nuts. I think to put, unless it's 12-2 Yankees, to put
like
Warren...
the Blackburn role.
You're correct, true. To put Warren in on Sunday... and not even giving him a clean, fresh inning, coming in with 2 on after Fried was awful. Fried had nothing, is a really, really bad move by the manager. And the bottom line is this, Sal. Yanks ain't hitting. I mean, you look up and down the stats here. They're simply not. Their on-base percentage is 29%. They've got an OPS collectively, I mean in all games, not just the Toronto series, the Red Sox as well, of 630. They've had 50 strikeouts with 10 walks, and they've managed just 3 home runs. So the Yankees right now, and I know that it ain't over till it's over, but Toronto has owned them all year. The moves the Yankees are certainly up there. The moves the Yankees made since the deadline and some of the things that happened to Toronto, I thought that the first 2 games would look very different. They have not. The Yankees have looked atrocious.
I would say, though, the score got away from them. You and I have had this argument before when it pertains to the Mets last year in the NLCS. You would say, well, they're getting blown out. And I'm like, yeah, but that's a circumstantial thing. And I would say the same thing for the Yankees. Yeah, all right, the score, the combined score is an embarrassment, certainly for the Yankees, but there's a reason for it. Like, if it were a close game, Blackburn wouldn't be in there. Same thing with Warren. Well, like, what do you want Boone to do? His ace didn't have it. Max Fried, $218 million man, plan B. That's all I was told. Oh, how great it is to go out there and get the ace. Hey, Max, you're getting paid $218 million not to win in the regular season against the Orioles or the Rays. This is what you're getting paid the big bucks for. I mean, Max Fried's got to go up there and show out, and he hasn't done that against the Blue Jays, who have had his number all year long. That, to me, is on the ace, not on the manager. What are you supposed to do after your $218 million man doesn't have it? Not to mention the offense. And, yeah, I'm looking at Aaron Judge. Single, strikeout in a big spot, error in the outfield, strikeout in a big spot. Like, at some point, Aaron Judge actually going to have to get a big hit in the postseason. Not a single. Like, I'm sorry, he's held to a higher standard because of the expectations he himself set. So I'm with you, BT. Overall, they were able to win the series against the Red Sox without really hitting. That's 3 games. And then you followed up in the 2 games in Toronto. The only time they hit was against crappy Blue Jay pitching. I mean, you savage mowed them down better than Clark Schmidt did to the Red Sox. They literally couldn't touch him.
He was filthy. And then I saw a video earlier today where the Yankees AA team was knocking him around over the summer because he made this really big jump. He started A ball. Now, he was filthy. And that splitter, the Yankees were nowhere near. But then you contrast it to the at-bats of the Toronto Blue Jays. We played the highlight there. Obviously, Vladdy going top shelf. It was an absolute bomb. And that highlight was the Corona Lime Time highlight of the night, brought to you by Corona, the official cerveza of Major League Baseball. You're right about Aaron Judge. And that's why I can't wait to have A-Rod on the show. He's going to join us at 1, BT and Sal, Alex Rodriguez, because he went through this a little bit before he finally cracked through in 2009. Remember, Torrey benched him, dropped him in the order. He went through it. Other great players have gone through it. But, you know, you're 30, you're almost in your mid-30s here. Time's ticking. And for him, the stats look good. It has been a soft postseason for Judge.
The stats look good because he's getting a lot of base hits. But as I was saying, after game 1 and certainly game 2, and now even more so, a single is a win for the opposition with Judge. And then not even just the numbers, like in the big spot, the moment you're thinking, okay, well, here we go, bases loaded, he gets blown away. Like, that can't happen. All the singles would be fine if it were in addition to a huge hit, a game-changing hit. He's had a couple of moments, and the Blue Jays have got the best of him. So, I mean, look, I still think this series is far from over. But you can't get much worse than it's been in those first 2 games. I think it's going to have a totally different feel. I still don't trust the Blue Jays in the Bronx.
In New York.
Now, would I want my season on the line with Rodon? I would not. Do I think Cam Schlittler is going to do what he did to the Red Sox lineup, to this Blue Jays lineup? I do not. I think the Blue Jays are going to hit at least a little bit. They got a bunch of gamers. You've seen what kind of guys they could be. But I expect the Yankees bats. Dude, if the Yankees bats go out like this to the Blue Jays 3rd and 4th, you know, there's going to be a bullpen game in here.
That game 4 against Schlittler. Yeah, advantage Yankees on paper.
Yeah, exactly.
On paper.
So if the Yankees don't, at the very least, hit, I would be surprised here. I think there's a long way to go in this series. The Yankees are going to be a tough out, so I would be surprised if it didn't go back to Toronto at this point.
Yep.
But the Yankees have been awful in the first 2 games.
I don't really know what I expect. I don't really think that they're just going to go bonkers and start ripping the cover off the baseball. Again, it's not like they had this amazingly prolific offensive performance against the Red Sox, and then baseball settled in, and they've gotten a little chilly the last 2 games. They didn't do anything against the Red Sox. Even Judge's base hit, who was that in left field who dove for the ball and couldn't come up with it. That wasn't even a hit.
Yeah. Durant.
Durant, thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you. So, there's a lot of issues here. I could understand. I could even reconcile as a Yankee fan. Game 1, Gausman, better matchup against Teal. Hadn't pitched in a while. All right, I don't know if I expected Toronto to win, but I thought they had a much better chance to win Game 1 than Game 2.
They had to win Game 1.
They had to win Game 1, true. And then it was lined up for Game 2, at least on paper. Big advantage Yankees. That got flushed down the chute. And it's also lined up on paper for the Yankees the rest of the way, but that doesn't mean that it's going to hold any weight here. And I'm not getting on Boone for Fried. You're right. I mean, when you give the baseball to somebody making $200 million, you got to be better than Max, who just did not have it. He was throwing 99, which he usually doesn't. His feel was off, and it happens. He's a human being. My problem with Boone was going to Warren, the situation that he went to him in. And remember when we talked about whether it was Tong or McClain or the Mets young pitchers, I was not, because we talked about maybe they'll become relief pitchers if the Mets get to the postseason. And my stock line to Sal was, I'm not a big proponent of deviating for a young kid what they're used to. So the same thought applies to the Yankees. Warren hasn't pitched at all. You put him in with 2 out, nobody on, with 2 on and nobody out. I just think that was dumb.
In an unfamiliar situation.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, to me, obviously the bulk of the blame is going to go on Max Fried in that spot. Hey, look, I also did not think, we're looking at this series prior thinking, Max Scherzer stinks and Bassett might be hurt. I had no idea about this Yusavage kid.
Me neither. Not to this extent, no way.
I never even heard of him before, and he's what was his 3rd start or whatever it was in the big leagues.
3 or 4, yeah.
He was as dominant as I've ever seen a pitcher be. Like I said, including Cam Schlittler's performance. That's what would worry me from a series perspective, not games 3 and 4 at home, where I expect the Yanks bats. And look, if they don't hit, they're going to go home. It's as simple as that. But I expect their bats to wake up a little bit here, and they do have the advantage pitching-wise, even though the Blue Jays have some bullpen arm, and I'm not sure about the Yankees' bullpen. Rodon's got to get the job done. Schlittler's got to get the job done. Facing Yusavage in a Game 5 in that building, to me, would be the scary part of this.
That would be one of the scary parts, because then Max Fried would be on the mound if we get to Game 5. And he's been absolutely bamboozled up there in Toronto. He has been destroyed like batting practice. The non-competitive at-bats by the Yankees is astounding to me. You go in there, swing at something in the dirt, strike 1. Look at something on the black, strike 2. The way the Yankees went down so meekly. I'm on the air, so I've got my TV on in my office with the sound down. I'm doing the Jets for some stupid reason, the stupid Jets podcast again. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, there is no way that they are going up there, strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. But it was happening. I don't know that I've ever seen that. Even as good as Schlittler was, and as good as Garrett Crochet was in Game 1. What this kid did to the Yankees yesterday was embarrassing. And it's really been emblematic of these awful approaches by the Yankees since Game 1 against Boston. Let me reiterate. 5 games, 50 strikeouts, 10 walks. This keeps up, Yanks are done, and then we have a different discussion.
BT and Sal on the fan. More your calls when we come back. Giants, Yanks on the table. We'll get to the Jets as well. We mentioned them a little bit before. We could do that later on. A-Rod coming up at 1 o'clock, so a jam-packed Monday show on the fan.
Keep listening for your chance to score a pair to see John, and Pete at UBS Arena on October 15th, courtesy of UBS Arena. To purchase tickets, visit ubsarena.com.
Looking for the perfect place to catch the game on Long Island? Check out Tap Room, now with 9 locations, including their newest at Station Yards in Ronkonkoma. Great food, rotating craft beer, and TVs everywhere. Plus Sunday game day drink specials, wing night Thursdays, and kids eat free Tuesdays. It's the best place for sports, food, and friends. Visit taproomofny.com to find your spot.
Hey, it's Jerry Recco. If you're facing hair loss like I am, I would like to share my journey at Great Many, New York City's Cutting Edge Hair Growth Studio. Looking to regrow your hair safely and effectively? Forget those risky pills with scary side effects and costly trips to Turkey. At Great Many, they use PRP, regenerative medicine trusted by pro athletes for recovery. It's a natural, non-surgical solution that really works. Check out my journey and visit greatmany.com/fan to learn more and save $200 today. Don't hesitate. Take action now like I have. Go to greatmany.com/fan to book your treatment or get a free consultation.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer, now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Talk sports with BT and Sal. Middays 10 to 2. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good morning at 11 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold. One legendary name, two exceptional Lexus destinations. Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth, where they proudly sell more Lexus vehicles than any other Lexus dealership in New Jersey. Experience the best selection and expert service only at Ray Cattina Lexus. They defied the odds already, becoming the first team in 4 years of this current format to survive the wild card round after losing Game 1, and now Aaron Boone's club fighting more history after losing twice in Toronto.
Obviously, it feels like the world's caving in around you, and you lose 2 games like that in their building where it doesn't go right. But all of a sudden, you go out there and win a ball game on Tuesday. The needle can change.
89% of the teams that have taken a 2-0 lead in a best-of-5 division series have advanced. No actual on-field work for the Yankees today in the Bronx, but the Blue Jays will be out there ahead of Game 3 tomorrow. Boone and Cody Bellinger speak to reporters next hour. The National League has the stage today. The Brewers and Dodgers going for 2-0 leads on the Cubs and Phillies. The first game's in Philly shortly after 6. Fan weather sponsored by Moderna. It's 70 degrees with clear skies in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT Sal back on the Fan on this Monday morning, 888-808-1019. I mean, I got to be honest with you. It was an awful sports day as far as New York sports is concerned. But there is a faction of fans out there in this town that are not fans of the Yankees, and maybe they took some satisfaction in the weekend's drubbing. You know what I mean? So maybe it wasn't all lost for everybody. Just one, I'm just giving you one side of things where it was bad for the Jets. Obviously, we went over that a little bit before. I know you did your Unhinged, Unkillable podcast afterward.
Dude, it's deteriorating. Each week I'm getting more and more uncensored. I got to watch it. I'm getting raw. I can't take it. I mean, listen, I know what you're saying about the Met fan, but I got to tell you one thing really fast about, and it's really crazy because the entire genesis of Unkillable contradicts what I'm about to say. And I don't know that I've got the capacity to care anymore about these Jets. I really don't. Like, I watch these games, and I'm not just saying that. I really no longer care. I sit there, I'm bored. I watch them, like the frustration.
Dreadful football.
It sounds like the frustration has waned. The anger is dissipated. It's just now like punching a clock, like, all right, I have to do this. I really don't care. Like, I just don't care.
Well, honestly, that's how I felt going into the game yesterday. We talked about after they lost to Miami, like, for me, I'm done with, like, caring about the actual Jets. Now, I said I was not going to evaluate Aaron Glenn on results, and I stand by that. But I can't, like, there's nothing appealing to me about watching the game. I had it on yesterday. It was torture. Couldn't wait to get it off. And eventually I did, moved on to watching both the Giants and then the Broncos-Eagles game. Like, there were other games.
Yeah, you called that Broncos game.
Yeah, that was a good one.
You like
I mean,
Denver.
they had to come back. But yeah, Denver's legit.
Win.
And now the Jets going to be playing them in London next week. Anyway, I still am a believer in Aaron Glenn. I know there's a deeper conversation that maybe we don't need to get into. But, dude, it's just like every year. And even the Giants with their loss took the game results out. When you start taking the game results out, fans don't want to sit here and evaluate things. We don't want to evaluate Aaron Glenn without any hope of having wins week in, week out. We don't want to evaluate Dable in year 4 and Jackson Dart and just without any hope of it going somewhere. Like, the idea is to evaluate, sure, but also have a chance to win some of these games. So Giants more so than the Jets have a chance to do that. But that's where we're at again through 5 weeks. That's it. Like, the seasons are definitively done. There's no way.
It's over.
Yeah, it's over. As
Here
far
we
as
are,
the
it's
results
over.
go.
Yeah, it's absolutely over. So I thought Aaron, and I remember saying this to you, I thought Aaron made a big mistake when I know why he probably did it, but I warned him then. I'm like, be careful trying to denounce the same old Jet stuff. I got news for you, AG. You look worse. Rich Kotite's team was better, and you were on it, so you should know that. So that has fallen on deaf, hollow ears, number one. And then the other thing, too, and this is actually scary. This makes me wonder if Aaron Glenn's the guy. Big picture. He told us on Thursday or midweek, whatever, I guess it was Thursday or Friday. He said, we had an amazing week of practice. This is the best week of practice we've had so far. I mean, do you not even have a pulse on your team? Because if you're telling us that was your best week of practice, then what you're really telling us without saying it is you don't know what the heck you're looking at.
Yeah.
Because they still can't get any sacks. They still can't force any turnovers. They had 8 or 9, 10 penalties here. Like, I'm not even going to get worked up over. The Jets are a non-entity in my mind. I really just don't care anymore about the Jets. I don't. I know at some point when they get good, I'll get sucked back in, and you will get, hopefully intelligent and passionate takes from me about the Jets when it's time. But today, I'm done.
BT, I don't really have much to add on the Jets. Other than I would just say that I feel like a losing culture is very, very difficult to get away from, especially when you keep a lot of the losing players who have been a part of that culture too long. When one thing goes wrong, it's like,
here we go again.
Yeah, we're losers. We're not going to win the game.
Yeah.
Even Garrett Wilson, who's the best player of the bunch, is just like, I didn't realize what I was getting myself into. Sauce Gardner's a total bust. All these other guys who have been there.
Quinn Williams been there.
They're good. They have talent.
Yep.
They have become accustomed to the Jets being synonymous with embarrassment, failure, and losing. And for Aaron Glenn, that is an upheaval of epic proportions that I'm sure he is like, holy crap, like, I just don't get it. Like, I'm trying to coach these guys the right way, and some of them are probably playing too tight, meaning like they think they have to be perfect and they don't want to make a penalty, which if you start thinking like that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a penalty. Or if you start worrying about fumbling the football because you know what's going to happen, your head coach is going to get you out of here, you fumble the football. Like, it is just such an impossibly difficult losing culture. To me, I would be cleaning house with the players and just ripping it down to the studs and trying to build it back up. To me, that's
people.
Really
you got time. Trade some people.
As painful as it may seem as far as the talent goes, that's what they really need to do if they really want to fumigate everything. The BT and Sal Show on the Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Football Giants. Back to the Giants and Yankees calls. Pete is calling from Sussex. What's up, Pete?
Hey, BT Sal. How you doing? I think I needed a blood pressure medication after that one guy. But anyway, a quick question. I just want an opinion for you guys, and then I'll let you guys talk. So in the off season, we got Wilson and Winston. You guys think we were better off keeping Daniel Jones, drafting Dart, and keeping Tommy DeVito, and seeing putting more money into the offensive line and possibly getting a high-end receiver?
No, I don't. I understand why you're saying that. And maybe, Pete, and thank you for the call, good question. Like, maybe, first of all, the cost of Daniel Jones, it just wasn't going to work here. You had to move on from Daniel Jones. But maybe the most damning argument against Brian Dable is that he couldn't, outside of the first year, which was very limited as far as what they let Daniel Jones do, he could not maximize Daniel Jones the way that Shane Steichen has been able to do in 5 weeks in Indianapolis, to the level of where if you say Daniel Jones for MVP, like, that's actually legitimate. I'm not saying he's going to win it. I'm saying it's a part of a legit conversation, which I can't believe that that's the case.
He's got a great runner. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor's terrific. Taylor did a lot of the work yesterday. I mean, Daniel Jones, I'm happy for him. I mean, Daniel Jones, now, I don't know what this means to Giant fans today here, but Daniel Jones played hard. There's just a lot of things about what Glenn's got to overcome, a lot of things that the Giants had to overcome. And I don't know, even though the Jets' O-line was not good yesterday, they at least have good players. and Thomas is back healthy for the Giants, which is a good thing. But think about all the offensive lines that Daniel Jones had to work with. Like,
how about not to mention the coaches?
He was never going to succeed here.
Yeah, well,
You had to turn the page.
That's the point. So you had to turn the page, but it does show you that even with Mara going with Shane and Dable and saying, okay, well, now we believe that these are the right guys to build around Daniel Jones, it was probably too little too late. Even though they had success the first year, damage was done to the point where once something went sideways for a week or two, all of us, fans, media, oh, Daniel Jones doesn't have it. Like myself included, I'm just saying, like, it became so fragile that once something went sideways, much like with the Jets right now, once the sign of, it's a brand new head coach, first-year head coach, changing everything, new GM, new head coach, first year. And once there was any sign of, oh, my God, they just got their ass kicked. How do they lose to this team? He should be fired. Like, that's the talk in week 2. I know we're now in week 5, but in week 2, it was Glenn might not be the right guy. Those are very difficult parameters to work within, and that's what Daniel Jones is working with, even after a new head coach and GM were hired.
It's suffocating. Yeah. When it's the same regurgitation of the same, let me pound on this and let me pound on that. It's predictable. It gets old. I think it stifles the enthusiasm for a locker room. And think about this. Now, when they settled on Aaron Glenn, I was happy. But I know who my first choice was. That was Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
And what was the one truly, I know yesterday was up there as well, truly non-competitive game that the Jets played this year? It was against the Buffalo Bills, who absolutely whacked them, right? How did the Pats look last night with Drake May and Mike Vrabel?
Right, but that's why this was lost before that decision. Vrabel was never coming here because probably the structure and ownership, also because they didn't have the quarterback in place the way the New England, like, that wasn't a fair fight. Vrabel would want the New England job. He played there. The ownership, the structure and foundation that was in place, even after Belichick left it kind of in ruins, it was still better than the Jets. Dude, like, I don't think that we understand the difficulty. And now the Giants have entered that category.
Oh, long ago.
Yeah.
They didn't just step into the chat room. They've been here.
Correct. The difficulty in building these teams out of the abyss with all of us, every chance we get pouncing on them immediately. It's why I'm trying to call off the dogs here. Now, I know I'm not, like, people aren't just going to follow everything I'm saying. And by the way, what I'm saying might not be right. Like, maybe Glenn is an awful head coach. Maybe Dable should be fired. All I'm saying is that this environment, and it's not the media or fans' fault, the teams have created it themselves, but the environment, if they listen to the noise, it's impossible to succeed in. If the Jets hired, just for one example, they hired Aaron Glenn because they believe he's the right guy, and I believe he's got a lot of the correct attributes, they have to be able to plow through this storm of he's overmatched, he stinks, he can't get it. And I don't even know if Glenn himself, like Woody, can sit back and say, hey, he's the right guy. You don't think Aaron Glenn's hearing the noise? Of course he's hearing the noise. He's responding to it, which to me was the first time he started to lose me. Talking about, like, we're not the same old Jets, or clapping after a loss, a horrific loss, but because your team came back. Like, those are signs to me that you're letting all the outside noise get to you, and you have no chance when that's the case.
This is how dumb the Jets are, okay? I just want everybody to understand the most basic checkpoint that they willingly ignored yesterday. What was the temperature yesterday? I don't know, 85,
Beautiful,
86,
yeah.
88. It was hot as hell. It was hot. I was actually at my daughter's game, but I was getting sunburned on top. It was hot. Like, I was sweating. Now, I also sweat maybe a little bit more than others, but it was hot as hell. The Jets decided to wear black uniforms. This is how stupid the New York Jets are. So and it's not like the weather crept up out of nowhere. There's this thing called the 10-day advance forecast. There's actually apps for radars. You know what the weather's going to look like, okay? And the Jets said, yeah, let's put our guys on turf where the sun reflects off, okay? And adds another 8 to 10 to 12 heat in terms of temperature degrees. Let's willingly wear black uniforms and allow the Cowboys to wear white when it's almost 90. That is the idiocy of the Jets. They're idiots.
Neil is calling from the Bronx. What's up, Neil?
What's up, gentlemen? Good morning. I just got two things on the Yankees. As far as Yankee lore goes, because you know how the great Yankees are all about championships, how would it go for Aaron Judge if he was to finish, his career without a championship? Where would he be ranked in Yankee lore? And two, you think they should sit down Stanton and let Dominguez DH? Because at least with Dominguez, if he hits the ground ball, there's a chance of him he could beat it out, and that will buy the Yankees an extra out for that inning.
I was okay with. I'll hit the Stanton thing first. Thank you for the call. Two good questions. So, and then obviously you and I think we could more debate the Judge stuff because that's maybe a longer conversation. So the Stanton thing, I did not want to play him in game 2. Remember we had that discussion talk about the lineup
against the Red Sox.
Against the Red Sox. Yeah. He just looked awful. I think he was like 1 for 18 or 1 for 17, a bunch of whiffs. Now that he's starting to swing the bat a little bit better, and I know he had a big strikeout the inning that Judge did on Saturday as well. I understand that. But he squared up a few sins. I don't know that now is the time to do it, although I get your point about more juice with Dominguez, more athleticism. They're not sitting Stanton at this point. That's not going to happen. Why don't you tackle the Judge stuff if he goes ringless, and then we could flush through it
I think it's a major problem. I think Judge now, for the first time, if he doesn't because the expectations, well, first of all, every year the expectations are that Judge is going to dominate in the postseason, and every year it has not been the case. Coming off of the embarrassment of the World Series a year ago, and all that Judge said, he lost nights of sleep with that and trying to respond and bounce back this year, to get back to the postseason where we felt at the very least a favorable slate for the Yankees. Yeah, more difficult beating a dangerous Red Sox team in the best of 3, sure. Not winning the division, obviously having to play that extra round. But look at the landscape of the whole league. Forget about just the National League, just the American League, the entire league. Yankees had as good a chance as anybody. And I felt that this was going to maybe be the year where Judge finally turned it on. And while he's gotten a bunch of base hits, it has not been the case. And in the big spots, he's striking out, and he could be pitched to, not to mention the error. I think this is not only like a not great postseason, but this has so far been a bad postseason for Judge. If he doesn't have a good showing here and the Yankees get bounced by the Blue Jays, I think the conversation is going to start to turn in a negative way, as opposed to he's missing a ring. It's going to be Judge has been a major disappointment in the playoffs.
Well, that's why the average is very misleading here.
I mean, what, 450 or something like that?
I mean, let's say he goes 2 for 3 tomorrow night with a walk, and the Yankees lose 8-5, but didn't do any real damage. Those who didn't see this in real time, or even those who did, they might soften in years. Like, oh, wow, yeah, Judge did hit, 473 in the 2025 postseason. He's done nothing. He's inflicted no damage, 0. And even some of his hits have been, flailers and, end of the bat stuff. A couple of should have been caught by Duran. So, see, it's hard. Only because baseball is a different measurement, or at least it should be, because it's such a team sport. I ask you, Sal, who's the greatest Knick of all time? Who is it? In your opinion, who's the greatest Knick of all time?
Probably Walt Clyde Frazier. I didn't see him play.
Neither did I. Okay. A lot of people do say Patrick based on the records.
I would say Patrick myself. He's the best I've ever seen, but
me too.
Hard to argue against Clyde.
Clyde's got the championships. He's got 2 of them there. So, and Patrick gets beat up still in the court of public opinion because he didn't get the championship.
Who would you say real quick, Clyde, or you say Ewing?
I'd still probably say Patrick because based on going against Jordan, going against Akeem, just what was there, Shaq.
It's really hard to get an answer to that. But to your point, my answer was in part based because of the championship sector.
That's why I asked you that.
Clyde has had.
It's a tough question. Who's one of the greatest Rangers of all time? It's Lundqvist, right? He's got none.
Right.
I mean, Shesterkin's pretty damn good. He's got none. The bottom line assessment, championship or not, defining legacy, and I'm not trying to take a pass on the answer, I'm really just thinking about it, is very complicated and very convoluted. I do know, and you've said this as well, Aaron Judge is one of the greatest baseball players I have ever seen in my life. He's there with Griffey, who doesn't have a ring. He's there with Alex, and Alex will join us in one, even though Alex had the issues with the PEDs. But, Alex is there, and a few others, right? I would say if he gets back to the stage a few more times and then doesn't deliver, then I think it's impossible not to penalize him. But if the Yankees as a team don't get very far in the next couple of years because the team's not that good or of championship good, then I think it's probably less of a burden on him. So still TBD, but it's not the best look. It is what it is.
And Yankee fans should look at the bright side. No matter what happens the rest of this series, there will be a Yankee legend without a ring that will be moving on.
A Yankee legend without a ring that will be moving on.
No matter what happens.
I know this is the tongue-in-cheek. This is a little jab.
Judge.
Let me just see. That moving on who?
Judge or Donnie.
You did that the other day, and I still didn't pick up on it. I got to know the material by now.
I thought this one you would get.
I know, but the difference with Donnie, there was sympathy for Donnie because of the back and the haircut, and George was at his crazy worst, and the rosters stunk. Judge doesn't have the excuses that Don Mattingly had.
100% does not. Donna is calling from North Babylon. What's up, Donna?
Hi, guys. If you wanted to see good baseball this weekend, the Mariners. What a game. I am so sick of these New York teams. Watching those Yankees was like watching the big Fab Four lose. It's so disheartening to see what we are subjected to in New York.
It's not over yet. I mean, so let's not have the eulogy full board today. I mean, the tombstone's not in the ground yet.
Right.
They got to lose one more.
The Mets are over.
No, whoa.
The Mets are over.
Well, the Mets tombstone has been written for the year, yes. Well, now, what about, Don? I'm curious to get your take on the Jets and Giants.
Oh, my God. Putrid. I saw the Jet, what was it, 3-22, flipped over, saw the Giant. I'm so sick of these New York teams. I feel bad for you guys. You are New York announcers and sports guys that have to, report this in your gut. What are you really saying?
I just told you I think the Jets are idiots. So that's about as blunt as it gets.
Thanks for the call, Donna.
Thank you. We get paid for this. Trust me, don't feel sorry for us. I mean, we're not digging ditches here. We're talking about sports. As frustrating as it gets, but it's different emotions for each one. Because with the Giants, there was hope with Dart. Yesterday was just a kick to the groin. The Jets, I've tapped out. Uncle, get me out of the octagon. I give up. The Yankees, I'm incredibly frustrated, but it's not over yet. The Met fan has a different set of emotions. It's a little bit of everything, quite frankly.
And we get the Knicks coming up soon, so we look forward to that. I know the Rangers start tomorrow night.
Abu Dhabi went well. They won twice.
Yeah, all right. I know. Mike Brown and all those minutes and changing from at least they're going to be relevant in the regular season.
Yes.
We'll see if they can. We're looking to the Knicks to carry us as a sports. Hey, the Yankees series is far from over. We've been down this road before. Just last week. Oh, no, the Red Sox up one game tonight. Let's just see what happens. What's the old saying with the series? A series doesn't start until the road team wins a game. That's how I feel here. I think it's going to look, now I could be wrong. I think it's going to look and feel totally different in the Bronx for these next two games. I'm not saying game 5. I'm saying these next two games here, I think the Yankees bats will come to life and they'll put some fight together.
They better.
Yeah, that's a good point. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call.
All right. Hey, Total Orthopedics, Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. Whether it's a sports-related injury or something a little more complex, Total Ortho has you covered with spots throughout Long Island, Queens, and now West Orange, New Jersey. Don't struggle with constant pain or injuries. Get fast expert care from the leading orthopedic doctors, including the #1 spine doctor on Long Island. Visit TotalOrthoSportsMed.com. TotalOrthoSportsMed.com. Schedule an appointment today. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experts at getting you back to being you.
A disappointing weekend in Toronto leaves the Yankees with their backs to the wall, facing elimination.
Swing and a miss, got him. All game over. And the Blue Jays take a 2-0 lead in this ALDS.
A return home to the Bronx could be just what the Bombers need to turn things around.
We haven't lost any confidence. Obviously they've had our number and gotten the better of us so far this year. But I don't think anyone in our room doesn't feel like we can't go out and beat them.
Catch all the action tomorrow. First pitch, 8:08 on your home for New York Yankees baseball. 1019 WFAN. And always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there, providing hot meals, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Introducing your new Dell PC with the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps you handle a lot, even when your holiday to-do list gets to be a lot. Like organizing your holiday shopping and searching for great holiday deals and customer questions and customers requesting custom things, plus planning the perfect holiday dinner for vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, and Uncle Mike's carnivore diet. Luckily, you can get a PC with all-day battery life to help you get it all done. That's the power of a Dell PC with Intel inside, backed by Dell's price match guarantee. Get yours today at Dell.com/deals. Terms and conditions apply. See Dell.com for details.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action and get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical. Did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employee Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Mnexspike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna is now available and easy to find near you. To learn more, visit mnexspike.com. That's mnexspike.com.
Clogged toilet, leaky faucet on one. Ready?
Uh-oh, you got a plumbing problem blitzing through the line. Time to audible and call in the pros. Roto-Rooter is your go-to defense for clogs, leaks, and any plumbing fix. Call the right play and download the Roto-Rooter app and easily book an appointment and receive exclusive service discounts. Touchdown! Don't get sacked by plumbing issues. Call in Roto-Rooter, your MVP for plumbing solutions. Download the app today and score big on savings.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
More BT and Sal coming up on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates. It's not easy being an accident victim these days. I mean, how do you choose the right lawyer? The radio, TV, buses, and billboards are filled with law firms making the same old promises, bragging about the same big results. They talk about their proven track record and hope they'll get you to sign on the dotted line. But then what? If a lawyer tells you from day one what your case is worth, please turn around and run. If a lawyer tells you how quickly they'll get your case settled, I beg you, turn around and run. The right lawyer is not a fortune teller. The right lawyer is honest, straightforward, and knows every case is different. He or she will have the experience to get you every dollar you deserve at the right time. So if you want to know your rights and you want to be told the truth, call D'Agostino & Associates today at 888-24-LAW-24. That's 888-24-LAW-24 and ask for me, John D'Agostino, because I've been there and I'll be there for you. D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back.
Find excellence in every detail in a new Volvo. At Volvo Cars Ramsey, 8-time winner of the Volvo Excellence Award. Choose from excellent offers on a new Volvo XC40, XC60, or a new 2025 Volvo XC90. View our entire inventory at VolvoCarsRamsey.com. Find excellence in a new Volvo at Volvo Cars Ramsey, where it's all about you.
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
Talk sports hands-free. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
BT Sal back on the fan. 888-808-1019, the number to call on this Monday morning, where you have a Jets loss, shocker, a Giants loss that actually was a little surprising to some, and a Yankees, they got bludgeoned over the course of the weekend. We were just talking about this during the break, BT, where Bieber is going to go for the Blue Jays in Game 3. That's a one guy. I got to give Schneider credit. I didn't think the Blue Jays were legit. I wasn't worried about them coming into the series. I've been proven wrong so far already in the 2 games. They've managed it well to have Savage pitch in Toronto and get that crowd behind him. It's a different animal. You have him pitch in Yankee Stadium, no doubt about it. And then having the veteran Bieber lined up to pitch Game 3 in the Bronx.
Well, these are the advantages that you have when you actually win the division. You get to dictate some things, and that's been an asset. But Toronto just, I don't know that anybody fears the Yankees anymore. I think those days are fairly over, long gone. But I like Toronto. I don't even seem like Toronto respects them. They are very comfortable against the Yankees.
They're playing downhill. They're playing loose. They're having fun. They get just a bunch of gamers up and down that lineup. I am shocked, though, to this extent. And I will be even more shocked if the Yankees don't get off the mat here tomorrow night. And, the bat's got to get going. That's where the Yankees become bullies, when they start to mash. Without that, then they're in trouble. You play behind the 8 ball, you're down 4-0 and 5-0 before you can blank. It's like, what are we going to do now? So I didn't think that I knew Toronto had a better offense than the Red Sox. I did not think that their pitching was like Gosman, dude, he mowed the Yankees down. And then the bullpen as well. And Savage had never even heard of before he goes in there. This guy looks like he looked better than Schlittler did the other night. So, it's remarkable the pitching that they've had so far. Bieber, obviously, we're familiar with, but even at this point in his career, is he still what he once was? No. I think the Yankees bats, they have to carry them at least a game, and clearly they need to carry them to Game 5.
All right, let me ask you this. Yeah. So what if they don't? All right, so one of the things, and not everybody said this, but I certainly felt it, it would have been absolutely, utterly unacceptable for the Yankees to lose to the Red Sox there. Right. Unacceptable. If they lose tomorrow night and they just go down with a whimper, how is that even different?
I think it might actually be worse. Because now you had hope, a team that has punked you. What is going on here?
A longer series to establish less randomness.
Right, if they lost to the Red Sox, a part of that could have been hey, that's the crapshoot of a wild card round. You're getting punked by the team that owned you all year in the regular season. If they lose tomorrow, man,
there's going to be some tough discussions, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't think it's very different from losing to the Red Sox. Maybe worse because there's more time, as I said, to establish yourself, whatever. And the Yankees' pitching matchups have been so in their advantage, at least. Gosman's good. He's actually handled the Yankees fairly well. And, Heel is not the same post-injury. He just doesn't have great command. But, pitching advantage yesterday, pitching advantage tomorrow, pitching advantage Game 4 if there is one. And even on paper, you would say pitching advantage Game 5 up in Toronto with Fried, but he's been spooked up there and they've rocked him. So I don't know.
I feel like if they got swept, it's more like Sidney Sweeney maybe standing you up as opposed to going on a few.
You saw that. Yes, interesting pop culture reference there for a Mike, right? I saw that. Yeah.
Ooh, BT Sal, the fan. All right, let's get back to the phones here. 888-808-1019, the number to call. John is calling from Danbury, Connecticut. What's up, John?
Hey, bud.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call. I know I call about the Giants, but I'd love to get a comment in about the Yankees, too. I think, I think yesterday with the Giants, it was a lot of the rookie's fault. I really liked what the offense was doing in the beginning, and actually moving the ball was actually a pleasant sight to see. But in my opinion, Shane Bowen is not the guy. I really hope that with the new talent that we have on the defensive line, that it is going to attract some better defensive coordinators to actually run some, more consistent schemes against teams that are really not good. I felt like the defensive line really just was invisible yesterday. And as for the Yankees, I've never been more frustrated watching this team than I am now. And I think looking back on it, toward the end of the season, it was all smoke and mirrors. We were playing crappy teams at the bottom of the barrel. Yeah, it built our confidence up, and we made this great run to, tie the division and, the tiebreaker and all this and that. But this team is just not it, man. The bottom of the order has been abysmal. Volpe has been, a little bit better.
Not yesterday.
I can't stand Jazz Chisholm's at bat. I can't stand looking at Wells. the freaking breaking balls, these sliders. You knew it was coming. I'm yelling at the TV. Here comes the breaking ball in the dirt. Swing the bat. Swing the bat.
What about Judge?
Sit him down.
You mentioned about him.
100%.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
Judge is just checking boxes at this point. He's hitting singles, and he's not doing the damage that he needs to.
I think
we're
the worst
relying
has been
on
Grisham.
him to be the guy.
Grisham.
And I mean, Grisham has been God,
terrible.
I mean, it's been up and down. It is. And you look at this order, you look at how, the Red Sox and Toronto is structured.
Yeah.
They have guys that are actually batting above 250 and are actually getting the ball in play. And you can kind of see the strategy that the Yankees were taking early on with these pitches where, hey, fastball comes, you got to take it early on. And unfortunately, we just weren't getting the ball in play. But the minute you foul off that foul ball, you're screwed. Like, we're done. And that breaking ball comes and you're cooked.
But that's how they're built, John, and good stuff. Thank you for the call. That's the problem with the Yankees far too often. They are a bully offense that mash you to death in the regular season, and then when they face good pitching, they look like they've looked in the postseason so far. And it's so, like Grisham, nobody expects Grisham to be that good, but everybody was taking bows. Hey, Grisham, 30-plus home runs. What an incredible year he's had. Well, if you're hitting $150 in the postseason, not having your impact felt in front of Aaron Judge, then that's not any good. And even the guys behind him, whether it's Giancarlo Stanton, Jazz Chisholm, it's all the same thing. The Yankees offense. Like if I asked you, BT, going into the postseason, what the biggest concern would be with the Yankees, your answer would be what?
Oh, God, the biggest concern with probably bullpen.
Right. Me too. Right. Has the bullpen been the primary culprit of why the Yankees have find themselves now in an 0-2 hole? To me, it is not like it's Max Fried. It's the starting pitching, and it's the offense. That's supposed to be their bread and butter. Max Fried's their $218 million ace. He put him in a hole yesterday. You can't do that. Unacceptable performance. And the offense is the Yankees' bread and that's their strength. Like their bullpen, even with Bednar and Williams, their bullpen's a weakness. That has not been the major culprit here. Obviously, it let the game get out of control, but that's not the reason why they've lost to me in this postseason.
I think it's been a little bit of everything, which is what really worries me. You mentioned Grisham sitting $158 whiff, Stanton's hitting $150, Jazz hitting $188. And the bullpen has not been this colossal nightly implosion here, but game one against the Red Sox, it was with Luke Weaver. I mean, I don't know how you try. Luke Weaver's been horrendous. It's just
right, but
it's really a little bit of everything, quite frankly. It really is.
Well, it's not the defense. It's not on the base paths. It's not beating
defense
them.
Yesterday with Judge playing that into a triple.
Yeah, I know, but but the
Keep
game,
the ball in front of you.
Understood. The game to me was out of control at that point.
What about the play down the line? And with I think Varsho hit that bullet to the right out of the reach of Ben Rice.
Yeah,
you think
he's a little slow getting there. I mean,
you think Goldschmidt knocks it down? You think an elite first baseman knocks it down? I don't know. I mean, it was hit hard. I want to be fair. Maybe if you were positioned better, so maybe that's a coaching thing because you didn't have a lot of time to react. But championship teams keep that ball in the infield.
I'm just saying it's not to me like, yes, obviously Judge with the error was a bad one, but it's not like I'm watching this team saying, well, they can't field the grounders, they're not throwing them, they're throwing balls in the dirt, they're not the pass balls, catches interference, those sloppy things, dropping easy fly balls. That is not the main culprit here. Max Fried, your $218 million ace getting hit is a big problem. Aaron Judge, everybody else really in the lineup, almost to a man. They have not hit the way that they did in the regular season. Those are the biggest issues, whereas my main concern coming in was the sloppiness that they've played for years and the bullpen, and those two things to me haven't been the main culprit.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when the Yankees bottomed out during the regular season, no, they don't look like that now. Where Volpe couldn't make a throw and they hadn't secured third base yet with McMahon, they were a disaster defensively. So, no, you're right. I mean, the defense is probably the least of the issues right now. Fried got bamboozled again. And listen, even though Judge is hitting a soft 4, whatever, if the guys behind them did their job, we wouldn't focus on it as much.
Ben Rice does not look good.
No.
I got to be fair. I thought he was great. I still believe he's their second best offensive player.
I still love him. He has not been that good.
He's been bad. I mean, that's what happens.
Stanton's
sometimes.
been worse.
And the difference with Stan is you expect him to be better because he's been proven before in the postseason. He's a veteran. And if he's not hitting, then what is he doing for
He's
you?
doing nothing.
Yeah.
He's doing nothing.
And the one time he does hit a double, he's pimping it like it's a home run. Let's get a Jets call in here, BT. Mike is in Old Bridge. What's up, Mike?
Guys, thanks for taking my call. I just want to rant on the New York Jets, who are an absolute disgrace. If you could please just give me a moment. So here we go. So now, Brandon, awesome podcast, Unkillable. All right, and that was pretty wild. Just watching that game yesterday. One of the things that I realized with the Jets is that if we gave Aaron Glenn, let's say, 2 or 3 victories this season, let's just say.
Okay.
So if we get three victories, we'd be looking at a 3-14 season. Now, next season, if they draft a rookie quarterback, which for all intents and purposes, they're going to have to do that. Fields holds the ball too long, regardless of his athleticism. So now, next year, what would be the barometer? Realistically, you'd be back to square one, what you guys were saying earlier this season when Sal said maybe like that. So now you'd add 3 wins this year, another 5 wins maybe next year, and you can imagine what that record would look like. That would be a really losing record. Now, I understand people are going to reference Jimmy Johnson and some of these great coaches that started
Even
off
Parcells
poorly
with the Giants early.
and that's fair. And that's a fair point. But here's the thing. The game has greatly that a couple of years ago, the Commanders had the 2nd overall pick, okay? And they took Jaden Daniels, and basically the next season they were in the NFC Championship game. The modern NFL game, okay? The Jets need to think modern football. So they basically continue to hire these first-year, these first-time head coaches.
Why they're idiots.
So Salah had the team playing slightly better than we've seen with Aaron Glenn. But here's the issue with Glenn that really, really worries me. He came in, and I really believed everything he was saying. And I'm going to still give him the benefit of the doubt because I really believe he's a quality human being, and he's a great leader of men, just like Sal had mentioned. So I just want to say this last thing. But here's the deal. He's starting to look like all the other coaches at the podium. Deflated, defeated. Even he's out of answers. Yesterday, that tough demeanor after the game and the post game, that was not there. That tough guy stuff is almost gone. And in my personal opinion, the Jets need one thing. They need a franchise quarterback. But besides having a franchise quarterback, they need to really look closely at every single person in this organization. Because if this team does not win a game this year, or they win one game and they actually get that first pick over the Titans or over the Saints or over the Browns, do you really think, as a longtime fan like you are, just like I am, do you really think, and all these other Jet fans think, do you want Muji and Glenn making that pick? Because if you make that pick and he becomes a Zach Wilson type quarterback, you would truly, you think 15 straight years without the playoffs is bad? This would set the franchise back many years. And one other point I want to make.
We got to let you go, Mike, and thank you for the call. We appreciate the passion here.
Yeah,
but
that was a good call.
Yeah, I mean, we'll let you go on for 5 minutes
that was
there.
A long one.
Had to cut it off at some point. Go ahead. You want to take that?
I was just going to say, Mike, I do see a path here or lane where 15 years could become 25 years. Where the Jets aren't in the playoffs. Like, I know it sounds inconceivable. Now, like, maybe the one advantage here is, like, even if the Jets finish 2nd overall and say the Titans are 1st, they just drafted Cam Ward, so you wouldn't think that the Titans would pick a quarterback, but they would be open for business, so maybe the Browns or somebody else jumps in front of them. Dude, I don't know what to think anymore, except, honestly, that the Jets are idiots. That's where I'm at. They're just losers top to bottom.
The thought about drafting a quarterback 1st overall and bringing him into this is frightening. Like, that's
I hear you.
That's not the recipe. And I think the biggest thing that our last caller said was that Glenn, and I agree with this, has not looked the way that he did prior to week 1, after week 1. Since then, it's been chipped away to where he's almost...
He's a different person. It's a different presentation in 1 month.
And that's the problem. The vicious Jets cycle has eaten people up and chewed them up, spit them out. All the time. Quarterbacks, head coach, all the time. Like, how many times do we need to see the same bleeping thing before we realize that it's an infrastructure problem and maybe that the media, fans, doesn't help? I'm not saying that fans need to change the way that they are, because they don't. It is what it is. But clearly there is a problem there. By the way, Washington turned when they had a new owner.
Yeah.
That's a big thing, too. Now, I'm not saying sell the team like we
I would love to.
I know, but
he's awful.
All I'm saying is they keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. It's why I was begging to hire an experienced head coach. But Glenn, I really believe Glenn at least has the right mentality. He's a guy that's worked his ass off. He was a player in this league that had success, a good player, worked his way up as a good, very good, if not great assistant coach. He wanted this opportunity, and I don't even think he knew the overhaul and the undertaking that is at hand here. And already 5 weeks in, and it was like this 2 weeks in, it was like, this team's awful, he sucks, and now everybody's doubting him. It's hard to maintain that confidence when you're not having the results in at least some way to back that up.
I'm pretty confident saying it's not him, it's them. They're idiots.
Right, but then...
they don't know how to run a team. Woody is lost. The Jets' upper management and upper structure is pathetic, and it always has been. I mean, anytime they stumble upon success, it's basically because they stumbled upon success, not because the infrastructure was right. They're the worst, most pathetic franchise in sports. Period. That's it. 888-808-1019, BT and Sal on the Fan. Hey, Sal, 4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for the performance. I've been in a Caddy for well over a decade. Some drive them for the range, others for, well, let's face it, it's a nice way to make an entrance. You pull up at the golf course or a wedding venue, whatever it might be. Oh, look at the Caddy, looking good. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. So whatever the reason is, never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac.
Yeah, BT, the all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles coming our way this week. Looking forward to it. You get the Escalade IQ, the Vistic, which I think you'll be in. I'll be in the Optic. The Lyric, that's the one I drove last year. I loved it. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. And remember, the BT and Sal Show is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
The Big Easy was anything but for Big Blue.
Hard to win when you turn the ball over 5 times and it was 5 consecutive drives.
But no time to dwell, as a short turnaround has the defending Super Bowl champs in town for a prime-time Thursday night showdown. Will the G-Men get back on track and spoil Philly's trip up the turnpike?
Fires it into the end zone, and the pass is caught for the touchdown.
Catch all the action Thursday on your home for New York Giants football. 1019 FM WFAN, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Pete Carroll was hired to raise the Raiders' floor and bring stability, but after a 40-6 loss to the Colts, it's clear this team looks no better than past regimes. Now they're 1-4, the worst start of Carroll's coaching career. Pete Carroll had hoped for a fresh start, but the Raiders are stuck in the same old struggles. I'm Maggie Gray.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening, because health is a long game and it's yours to win. Now, here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi? Learn more at depend.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
For all station contest rules, go to WFAN.com/rules.
Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more.
Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Football season is here, and just like winning teams, your engagement should be all about the best. So if you're ready to pop the big question this season, why not visit the experts at London Jewelers? With top-notch professionals and cutting-edge technology, London Jewelers can help you select or even design the absolute perfect ring. So whether you're starting over or starting new, let the professionals at London Jewelers be a part of your journey. Visit any one of their convenient 6 locations across New York and New Jersey. London Jewelers, serving you and your family since 1926.
When it comes down to finding the lowest price on Michelin winter tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tires' guaranteed lowest price. And when it comes to free services, nobody gives you more free services on your Michelin winter tires than Town Fair Tire. So why look for Michelin winter tires anywhere but Town Fair Tire, where you always get the guaranteed best deals? Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday this season, all the way through the AFC Championship game. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
More BT and Sal coming up on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
This Prime Big Deal Days, October 7th and 8th, you can get a great deal on a new foot spa, transforming you into the queen of kickin' it.
Wait, this has bubble jets. Okay.
Get up to 40% off with Prime Big Deal Days, October 7th and 8th.
Let's go! You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended. Balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
But tonight, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I'm rocking my pants. What's up is a beat.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. A lot of interesting stuff happening around the league yesterday. We're talking about it a little bit during the break, BT. You know, I wanted Pete Carroll in here with the Jets. My plan would have been experienced head coach, go hire Pete Carroll and keep Aaron Rodgers, because I just wanted to eliminate the question marks and have a veteran quarterback here, a veteran head coach, and maybe try to fumigate that way, make the most of this roster here with an experienced head coach. They clearly went in a different direction, and you've seen what's gone on here, but what about what's gone on there? The Raiders have been awful this season, getting their doors blown off yesterday by the Colts. Geno Smith has been god-awful. It just shows you, like, man, it doesn't mean that would have happened here either, but it shows you there is no exact way to do this. You could hire a rookie head coach and be great, a rookie head coach be a disaster, or a veteran coach and be great, and a veteran coach and be a disaster.
Minus 56-point differential. They've been largely non-competitive. I'm very surprised. Not that I thought the Raiders would be amazing, but I mean, they're basically getting whacked every weekend. There's some interesting stories, like you've seen growth from Chicago. You've seen a little growth recently from the Panthers. Miami's situation's a mess. The NFC West is crowded, but I take away the Pats. I know I mentioned them before. So think about what happened last night. Drake May, who really, really is talented. Some of the throws he makes on the run, he's obviously a very good athlete. So they win a game, big stage, Sunday Night Football. And now you look at the Pats, who are 3-2. You know their next 3 games? At the Saints, at the Titans, and then the Browns.
They can win all 3.
I mean, but even if they stumble, and they might because they're still a little
2-1.
young. Yeah, if they're 2-1, you're talking about a team that's suddenly 5-3. They got to play the Jets twice. Let's throw a dart and take a guess how that one's going to go. That's 2 more wins for them. Is this team going to wind up winning 10, 11 games?
I think that's a bit ambitious. 10? I mean, I don't know.
Got 3.
I know, and everybody just seems to think Drake May is the next coming now. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But again, good. It's not just luck. Good organizations find a way to do this. They had a great organization, Belichick, all those years, and then they realized the right time to cut bait with Belichick. Who, by the way, he's getting his ass kicked in college.
Oh, my God.
I mean, that's...
dude, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly. It might be time for... And you know me, I love Belichick.
This girl won't let him quit.
Well, it might be time for him to quit her first.
Oh, there you go.
Well, one or the other. It's clearly this is not working for Bill.
She brought some bad luck to him.
But think about it. So he was a, I don't want to say disaster, but it clearly ran its course with New England.
Yep.
They move on. They go to Mayo
and
for 1 year. They realize right away he ain't it.
Yep.
They draft their quarterback, obviously, before that. They bring in the head coach that they wanted, Vrabel, and now they're set with the head coach-quarterback combination that you would feel is pretty strong moving forward.
Yeah, very strong. The thing about Vrabel that I always liked about when he was with Tennessee, which is why he was my number 1 for the Jets, and listen, he was playing the Jets, and obviously I was intrigued by Aaron. I wanted Aaron Glenn to get the job once Vrabel wound up going to the Pats here, but he won a lot of games in Tennessee without a whole lot. There's just something about
Tannehill.
him. You know what? Tannehill.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, Derrick Henry was in his absolute prime at that point, but no real stud receivers, no real, superstar shutdown corners or, sack artists who had, 15, 16, game wreckers. They were just a buttoned up, possess the ball, run it, stay in manageable, down in distance, and play with integrity and bring the same focus and keep the penalties down. And that's a great recipe. And here we are with the Jets and the Giants. It's the exact opposite.
Yeah, and I'm just looking over some of the things because I still believe in a veteran head coach, especially in this market. You could pick teams, though, on each side of it, whether it's Steichen in Indianapolis, some of these younger guys, the offensive coordinators that get the job and they have success. But look at what Sean Payton's done with Denver. I mean, they've been incredible. Look at what Jim Harbaugh's done with the Chargers. I know they've lost a couple in a row here, but still, just building that program up to where it needs to be. And then you might have somebody like John Harbaugh available. The Ravens have been a disaster this year. Even when a healthy Lamar was there, maybe he becomes available next year. And that would change my tune a little bit with Dable, where if you have an answer like John Harbaugh out there, I think you got to go make a move to get him. In New York, we are dying for an experienced, no doubt about it, head coach. He would certainly fit that bill.
I love John. He's not Jim. I don't want to say he's overrated. He's not. But, man, and there was rumblings that he was going to step away. I think we've had this John Harbaugh could leave the Ravens dance for a couple of years. Obviously a massive upgrade over Dable, but he's not Jim.
BT and Sal on the Fan. WFAN NFL football is powered by Verizon. Get to your local Verizon store today.
A disappointing weekend in Toronto leaves the Yankees with their backs to the wall facing elimination.
Swing and a miss. Got him. All game over. And the Blue Jays take a 2-0 lead in this ALDS.
A return home to the Bronx could be just what the Bombers need to turn things around.
We haven't lost any confidence. Obviously they've had our number and gotten the better of us so far this year. But I don't think anyone in our room doesn't feel like we can't go out and beat them.
Catch all the action tomorrow. First pitch, 8:08 on your home for New York Yankees baseball. 1019 WFAN. And always live on the free Odyssey app.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on moneyline, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Hey, New Yorkers. Fast, reliable internet can be yours when you switch to Fios. For a limited time, combine Fios home internet and one line of mobile for just $69.99 a month. Get unlimited welcome for $50 a month with AutoPay plus taxes and fees when you bring your phone. And add Fios 300 megabytes per second for $19.99 a month with AutoPay Mobile Plus discount and bonus discount. Visit your tri-state area Verizon store today to get this limited time offer and switch to our reliable 100% fiber optic 5G network. Fios, for eligible new Fios Internet and mobile customers. Both the $15 monthly discounts for Fios and Bring Your Phone applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. $99 Fios setup charge applies. For unlimited welcome, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic in times of congestion. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
Sunshine, high 81.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx. As a kid, he made some mistakes, but right out of high school, he joins the Army. Picks up skills, does construction and HVAC his whole life. Paul Rivera's a guy who can say,
I love my life. I've done everything right. So, where's the rub?
He gets pulmonary fibrosis, and the only hope is a lung transplant. Poor guy's close to curtains. When out of the blue, one hospital, Montefiore Einstein, hears about his case and takes it on. Not only does our friend get a new lung, he gets a whole new life. He keeps getting stronger. Everyone in his neighborhood is like,
Did they give that guy a new lung or a new motor?
The story, Mr. Giamatti. Well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera. You lived it.
Everyone loves a comeback. Montefiore Einstein, national leader in transplant.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
We're talking New York sports. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish. This Sports Flash is sponsored by Motion Sports Medicine. Is pain stopping you from doing what you love? Physical therapists at Motion create a personalized plan that can get you moving safely and confidently again. No referral needed. Most insurance is accepted. Find a location near you and schedule an appointment today at motionptg.com. When your team is 0-5, when it hasn't forced a turnover, considering personnel changes seems prudent. Head coach Aaron Glenn asked what might happen with his Jets this week.
I say this every week is you earn your keep. You earn your keep. So I think we always looking at that. Like, who gives us the best chance to win? That does not mean that we're just having wholesale changes week in and week out. But I do expect us to the players to earn their keep during the week.
And, of course, this is an odd week with the Jets headed to London to face the Broncos Sunday morning. Monday Night Football features the Chiefs in Jacksonville to face the 3-1 Jaguars. And prosecutors in Indianapolis just added a felony battery charge to what Mark Sanchez is facing for allegedly starting that altercation Friday night that left the Fox analyst with multiple stab wounds to his torso. Sanchez is out of the hospital and has his first court date tomorrow morning. Fan weather sponsored by Ray Katina. Experience the power of 3. Visit bensfam.com. It's 72 degrees and sunny in Central Park. And that's what's happening. Sports flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
This city lives and breathes sports. WFAN is where Yankees fans argue with Mets fans and Giants fans debate Jets fans. Live, loud, and daily. The Fan, 101.9 FM and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn.
Monday afternoon, we are down with the king topics of of the day, and there's plenty. Unfortunately, BT, none of it good. The Giants, Jets, Yankees all lose and embarrass this great sports city of ours with all losses yesterday. We'll start with the Giants. That's what we did at 10 a.m., where the Giants had some hope going into this game, thinking they could make it 2 wins in a row, and young Jackson Dart showed, in fact, that he's a rookie. And for me, I think we just got to separate the two things here. Instead of worrying about winning and losing and trying to be relevant this year, it is about evaluating what Jackson Dart can do with Brian Daboll. And through 2 games so far, I'm more encouraged than discouraged with the Daboll-Jackson Dart connection.
I'm very encouraged with Dart. I'm not encouraged with Daboll. It's just a lot of evidence here to the contrary. He just, the team just has a lot wrong with it. And I'm not going to let the illusion, although actually I don't even think it's an illusion. I would say the blossoming reality, probably a better way to put it, of a young quarterback and a head coach who appear to be on the same page. That doesn't mean I'm going to remain married to a coach that I don't believe is good enough to elevate this team to a championship team.
Yeah, I would rather just have the combination together. We had this conversation in the offseason. I'm standing with what I said then. If they were going to bring Shane and Daboll back, meaning let them make these selections this past draft, which they did, then it's got to be beyond this year. I didn't think that they were going to go to the young quarterback, whoever that would be. Obviously, it's Jackson Dart. This soon into the season, as we're now in week 5. You got to start clearly in week 4, but they have, and now my mind turned from, okay, well, whatever they thought they could do win-wise, it's about evaluation with Daboll and Shane. And I think we're just getting started here in only 2 weeks with young Jackson Dart as a starter.
Let's say the Giants go 3-14. That brings the mark of Daboll. I'm doing really quick math. I don't know, 21 or so, and it's almost 60.
Yeah.
And Dart looks good, but not amazing. Is that enough to say, okay, I'm going to bring him back for year 5?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because you have to let the whole thing play out here, but I'm not chasing. Look, you got to see who's available. You got to see how bad it goes the rest of this year. It's just week 2. Like, the rest of the way, it's going to be the same thing. Oh, fire Daboll, fire Daboll, fire Daboll. And then what's going to happen is if they do that, it's going to be, is it Shane and Daboll both gone? Do they keep some continuity and keep Shane? And why would you do that? Because he's been just as bad, I would argue, even worse than Brian Daboll if they, in fact, finish with that record. And then you're going to have one GM hiring another head coach, and they're put with a quarterback who the prior head coach selected. Like, it just doesn't make sense. We've been down this road before with the Giants as recently as the Daniel Jones thing, having Daniel Jones forced upon Joe Shane and Brian Daboll. So I would do anything I could to avoid that, and it would take disaster for me to move on from Brian Daboll. I'm not saying that it would have to, like, next year, different story. It would take disaster this year, meaning that Dart has to look awful and show regression to me break him and Daboll.
To break. Okay, so I got you. And now the only thing to me, and this is good for the future, is that, and I didn't know about this. I mean, I saw Jackson Dart play a couple times in college. Obviously, when you're getting ready for the draft, you start seeing the film. You're like, okay, he's a good athlete. He's got some wiggle, whatever. We liked him. But until you really see him, play for your team in the NFL, you don't know. I believe that even like Jackson Dart's going to be appealing to any potential veteran coach, which for me changes the mindset a little bit if this thing bottoms out and it's 2 wins, 3 wins, just an eyesore of a season again. Because I think if you're a veteran established coach, I mean, what does Jackson Dart not have except the winning resume? But it would be 1 year in the books.
Right, but who's the coach?
I don't know. But and that's not a good answer. I'll give you that. But I can tell you who isn't the coach, and that's the guy who's been running the Giants into the ground.
But then we could have the same conversation, whether it's, oh, hey, here's an offensive coordinator. Now see what you can do with Dart. Like, I'm actually excited for the first time ever with Daboll having his guy. I like that pairing, and it's only been 2 games. Now we need to see obviously a lot more. We also talked about the Yankees. Speaking of needing a lot more, I mean, they got their clocks clean over the weekend, and now we're on the brink of elimination yet again. I do not think this series is over. As a matter of fact, I think it's far from over. However, inexcusable. Max Fried, Aaron Judge, and the rest of the Yankees offense. It's not just 2 games in Toronto. The Yankees bats have been quiet for all of the postseason so far, and then yesterday in particular with Max Fried, your $218 million ace, he hasn't gotten the job done against the Blue Jays all year long.
When the Yankees got whacked in game 1, I said, and I almost did this, and I'm happy I didn't. I almost went bonkers by taking the Yankees in 4. I almost played that. Because the matchup with Gausman was favorable for Gausman this year. Yanks haven't really ripped. I know a couple of guys have good career numbers, but Gausman's been a bit of an issue from this year. And I fully expected, Sal, yesterday, once we wiped away the doldrums of the Jets and the Giants, to sit down and to see Max Fried, maybe not be amazing, but certainly be good, and for the Yankee bats to go to town. And instead, we got maybe the most inept offensive approach and results. And I'm not talking about the 7 runs they tacked on against lower leverage arms that the bullpen, that the Jays threw out there just to get through the game and piece it together. I'm talking about when the game, starting from the first inning with the empty swings from Grisham and everybody, I was stunned. And because of that, for me, I'll be rooting like a maniac tomorrow night. I really don't know that I have incredible confidence that the Yankees crank out a couple of wins and get this thing back.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You were saying all year long you thought Toronto was better.
I did.
And then you got away from that lately. I thought the Yankees were better all year long, and I certainly thought that they were going to be better. Now, I also had no idea about Savage. I mean, that guy was as good a pitcher as I've ever seen, including what Schlittler did the other night against the Red Sox. This was even more impressive than that. Like, the Yankees couldn't touch him, couldn't sniff him. And the only way they started to get back in the game was when Schneider took him out, and I understand why he did. It was a blowout. You want to save him, whatever. The thought of that guy again facing this Yankee team, even if it's for a second time, in Game 5 in that building, that's not comforting to me as far as having the Yankees win this series, but I fully expect the bats, and they better get going. Like, this is on Aaron Judge. Judge has been awful here. Okay, look at the average. He's had a lot of singles. Great, that's great. Any big spot Judge has come up in with a chance to change the game so far through 5 games has not happened, and he has failed in that spot. And to me, that's the bigger issue that's been continued from year after year after year, and now series after series so far this year.
Aaron Judge last year, he stood there at his locker at the lowest moment of his professional career after dropping a pop-up all of us would have caught when we were 8. And he took it like a man because that's what he is. He's a high-character performer. He's a consistent performer. Whether he wins the MVP or finishes second, whatever, he's an all-time great player. And he comes out and he puts up this amazing regular season just to let everybody know, all right, this is who I am. But there's got to be another level in October. And I'm sorry, a bunch of singles. I don't care what the average is. For me, the real proof is what do you do in these moments where the game is on the table? And the way he flailed at that slider on Saturday, and by the way, the 2 guys behind him did the same thing, basically.
It's not just him,
Bellinger got to walk,
yeah,
but
the whole lineup.
The whole lineup. Stanton was awful. I was very surprised at that. And let's say that the Yankees are in a tight game tomorrow. And I do agree, it's been the offense, which has been the main culprit here. And obviously, Fried was awful. But let's say that the Yankees are in a 5-3 or 2-4-2 or 6-4 2-run lead tomorrow. Do we trust Weaver? Is Warren getting the baseball? I mean, I like Cruz more than you, but even I'm not looking at Cruz like I would, like a Stanton or Jeff Nelson back in the day. So there's other things that worry me. I mean, they're hanging by a thread.
Last and certainly least, the Jets.
Yeah, always least, always last losers. Just the most morbid, sad sack, pathetic franchise that I've ever seen. And, listen, I'm not even saying this to get a click. I really don't care. I don't care about the Jets anymore. I just don't. They have broken the spirit of so many people, and everybody kind of has their threshold where it's like, all right, I can't take anymore. This is enough. This is the end of the rope. And for some it was Bowles, and for some it was Gase, and for some it was Sala. And maybe because Aaron Glenn being a really good player and saying the right things and me feeling it, and me also thinking the Jets might be a little bit better talent-wise than they certainly are, particularly on defense. Their defense sucks. I do not watch them with an ounce of emotion. I no longer watch them with an ounce of care. I also will raise my hand and be the first one to say whenever they are good, whenever that is, I'll jump back in and enjoy it as much as anybody. I will watch every snap, but I am desensitized to how bad and lifeless they are. They stink.
Maybe that would be the best thing for the Jets organization, because I feel like the negative feel around that organization just will not go away until they start to win, which is very difficult to do especially for a young head coach, first-time head coach with all the losing that they've done. So you play a great competitive game 1, but you lose that game, and unfortunately it's been downhill since. Glenn is a shell of what he was before he got hired here, or after he got hired here. And I think that storm of negativity is just overwhelming. And if more people have apathy toward this team, which they should, because there's no reason to get in. I was saying this from the beginning of the year. It's not about wins or losses with the Jets. I want to evaluate Aaron Glenn. And if you're doing that just even aside from wins and losses, it's been ugly. He doesn't have the answers. It's got to get better, but it's so early on in his regime. The talk is already about firing him or potentially somebody else, and that's not healthy. Maybe more people being apathetic toward them could actually benefit
Stabilize
the
it. I didn't really think of that. It's a unique way to look at it. I think Joe B is going to be on with Evan and Tiki today, I think. I mean, how does Joe even care? How does anybody care? And, listen, we've been doing radio for a long time. We've all had moments where, you get into it with a caller, you're an idiot, you're a J, and say things maybe we don't really mean and we wish we could take back. I really don't say that to him. I don't really call people idiots. I try to be above that. But the Jets are idiots because, I really mean this. And I need to reassert this because this was a conscious decision on the part of the Jets. The Jets had 53 guys walk out there in stiflingly hot black uniforms on AstroTurf when it was 88 degrees at kickoff. The Cowboys had white. That was a conscious decision. The Jets actually, and if they didn't calculate the weather, then they really are idiots. If they did and they ignored it, then they're even more idiotic. So I am just, you know where I stand. I really don't care about the Jets.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Nick is calling from Newton. What's up, Nick?
What's up, BT Sal? How we doing?
Nick, what's happening, buddy?
Sal, I met you this weekend on Saturday. You came in for ice cream?
Yeah, at the Denville Dairy. I was going to tell you, BT. So Nick was the one who called us where he was getting married last year.
Oh, I remember that,
during a Nick playoff game.
I remember this.
So I went to Denville Dairy with my family. And
did you get a little discount to take care of you, Nick?
Nick, we're all good. But I did have to give him a tip. It was one of those things
they
where...
have the jar out there?
Yeah.
Oh, Nick,
not
come
the
on,
jar.
man.
You know what I'm saying, Nick? The little tells you to tack on the tip. I felt obligated after you
the digital one?
No, man.
Yeah.
You're fine, man. You're fine. It's great. It was great to talk to you in person. But, these sports teams, they really did a number yesterday, didn't they?
They did.
I'm a Giant fan. I'm a Yankee fan. I'm a Knicks fan.
Okay.
And I never thought at one point in my life I'd be saying the first weekend of October, God, I can't wait for the Knicks. It's like, oh my goodness. Like, I watched that first half of that Giant game and the first two drives looked great. And then it just implodes. You switch to the Yankee game and it's down 9-0. It's like, there's nowhere to hide.
Nick, obviously you've got separate emotions, even though, yes, it was brutal. But I know you can separate the Yankees and the Giants. Giants have been awful for a long time. Yankees haven't won in a while, but the Yankees are always very good. But you got to at least admit, unlike the Jet fans now, at least you got Jackson Dart, and you get to see where he goes and how he develops, and he's going to pop a few. Like, that's got to give you something.
It does.
Okay.
It does. I'm more leaning towards BT when you say I like Jackson Dart, but I don't like Daboll. We just look so unprepared.
Yep.
We look unmotivated. We get hurt more than any other team in the league. We look tired out there. By the second half, they all had their hands in their laps like, here we go again. Like, I can't do it. Daboll, he just stands there with his arms crossed, shaking his head. And the defense, Shane Bowen, get out of town. He's got to go. If there's anyone fired before the end of the season, it's him.
It's just the problem is, though, Nick, and thank you for the call, and thanks for taking care of us Saturday there. Well, we paid, but he was
I got you.
serving
I
us
got
all.
you. How was the ice cream? Good? Good setup?
Very, very good. Yeah. My wife. No, so my wife's cousin was in town. I told you about that.
Yeah. You did
so
tell me.
it wasn't just, it was my wife's cousin, my wife, Sammy, and then, of course, I had to get a little something. But anyway, it was nice seeing Nick at Denville Dairy. My issue is, if they can't fire another defensive coordinator, not the head coach. Like, how many coordinators are going to get here?
Keep passing the buck here?
Yeah. But so I wouldn't, but I also don't think Bowen has done a good job. Not with this defense. They got to be more aggressive. But this was by design. Daboll wanted Shane Bowen by design. Those guys got to go out there and attack more. I thought it was idiotic. You talk about the Jets being idiots. I thought it was idiotic to play Abdul Carter on the inside. Like, I don't care who's hurt. Abdul Carter should be playing on the edge. That's his skill set. He's an elite edge rusher. Let him wreak havoc in the backfield. So whose nim-witted idea is it to have him play inside? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I can't push back on Bowen, and I certainly can't push back against or for Daboll when you look at his record. However, the most valuable thing in the NFL to me is the combination of head coach and quarterback. And This is only the second game that we've seen Brian Daboll with his quarterback, Jackson Dart. And in those two games, to me, I'm encouraged about what Daboll and Dart can become, even in spite of his record overall.
Yeah, you definitely more than me. You know, I feel like Daboll has had a long enough runway just to show some stability in other areas. And again, this is not about, getting on the air and saying that they should move on from Daboll today. No, this is just, where I am right now as I evaluate him, where I was at the end of last year, which is where I am now. I mean, I would not have brought him back. I don't see any evidence really to the contrary this year. The only thing that's changed is that a talented player showed up. Like Jackson Dart showed up, and there's moxie, and there's speed, and there's a good arm, and there's a dynamic quality. I don't think that Daboll's improved upon anything because they still get highly penalized. They don't look like they're in great shape. Don't love the game plans. They still stink.
But to be fair, I'm not sold on Jackson Dart either. I'm just saying I'm excited about the possibility of Daboll and Dart together. To be fair to Daboll, if his rookie quarterback doesn't have 3 turnovers in the game, they probably win that game. What head coach is going to be able to overcome 5 turnovers, 4 of which came by rookies, the other came of which a player shouldn't be in the NFL?
I get that part. I'm not trying to be unfair to Daboll. If this was year 1 or year 2, I wouldn't be saying this at all. There's a lot of games that we've watched where I'm sitting there saying, what are we watching here?
Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
All right, so we'll get back to the calls. A-Rod coming up at 1 o'clock with BT and Sal. Hey, our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical, but did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the one before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers of Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
Keep listening for your chance to score a pair to see John, and Pete at UBS Arena on October 15th, courtesy of UBS Arena. To purchase tickets, visit ubsarena.com.
Everybody knows Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, beating all the local competitors with our guaranteed lowest prices. And now, with over 120 stores throughout New England, we beat all the competition, including the warehouse clubs, the online sites, and the local dealers. Yes, we beat them all with the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Union, and Freehold, New Jersey. 3 powerhouse locations, 1 legendary name. Ray Katina. More selection, more convenience, and more ways to drive excellence. Experience the power of 3. Visit benzfam.com.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-485-7220. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-485-7220 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-485-7220 to see if you qualify. That's 800-485-7220.
Hey, Tiki here. Imagine a world where all your smart devices work together seamlessly in one simple ecosystem. Introducing the Sloman's Shield Link. With Sloman's Shield Link, transform your home into a truly intelligent smart home experience. Control your lights, heating and cooling, door locks, cameras, TVs, just about anything in your home. Life is busy and daily stresses add up. But with Sloman's Shield Link, your home tech works in harmony, making life more convenient, safe, and enjoyable. Now imagine pulling into your driveway, and with one tap, your home welcomes you. Lights on, doors unlocked, only to hear your favorite music. A true smart home isn't just about gadgets. It's about comfort and security. With Sloman Shield, enjoy a full integration of home security and automation, all at your fingertips. Make your life easier and your home a safer haven. Learn more at SlomanShieldLink.com or call 1-800-ALARM-ME. Embrace the future of home living with Sloman's Shield Link.
We could tell you what it's like to drive the Nissan Rogue and tell you all about its performance capabilities, like its VC turbo engine, its impressive fuel economy. Still going. It's I can go virtually anywhere type of freedom. Nice. But you don't have to take our word for it. Go drive it for yourself. You're up. Experience the power of the Nissan Rogue.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, or Murano. For well-qualified buyers, example 0 down payment. 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per 1,000 financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to Nissan Motor Acceptance Company credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 11/3/25.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CODE to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
More BT and Sal coming up on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Nobody beats a Town Fair tire deal. And I mean nobody. So if you're looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price, get to Town Fair today. Michelin winter tires offer a shorter stopping distance on ice and snow, along with predictable handling in cold, dry, and wet wintry conditions. For the guaranteed lowest price and free services for life on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Visit your local Kia dealers to discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. It's the perfect balance of quality, dependability, power, and style. Learn more at kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires.
Tell Siri to dial the fan. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
You have to learn to pace yourself.
BT and Sal back on the fan. Yankees will be under a lot of pressure tomorrow night in the Bronx, Game 3. Are you going to the game, BT?
Not sure yet.
Because you had said earlier or later in the week last week that you were going to try to go.
That was the one I was going to try to target here.
And what I was going to tell you is that apparently ticket prices are coming down.
Are the Yankees keeping the Blue Jay fans out like they did the Red Sox fans, which a lot of these teams do nowadays? You see that?
I don't know. I did see that, yeah, with the Yankees. I have no problem with that.
I don't have an issue with that, by the way.
Me neither. So I don't know what's going on with that. I do know that, at least I saw an article in the Post saying that ticket prices for Game 3 have come down, which you can understand. I mean, down 0-2, not the same type feel of going to the game as it would be 1-1 or obviously up 2-0. But I still think, come on, man. You lost the first two up there. It's a series. Go win your next two here and get it to a Game 5.
So I texted you, I think it was Saturday morning. I saw you on Sports Night Friday night, right?
Yeah.
And obviously I remember what you told us on our show here. So, but I saw you double down. You felt really good about the Yankees going into the series. So I'm curious, and I've been here before as well, like where you have such a strong opinion going in, but then you're provided evidence so much to the contrary, but because you felt one way so strongly before anything happened, that it's hard to deviate from that. I'm not saying that. That's what I'm asking. Like, you really still think the Yankees are equipped to come back and do this and win 3 games, including Game 5 up there?
That to me is the talk. Remember, I thought the Yankees were going to win in 3 or 4. Yeah. I did not expect to see what we saw. Now, I also didn't expect Toronto could pitch like that. So I was basing my strong opinion on the Yankees' bats doing the bulk of the damage against the Blue Jays. I expected the Blue Jays to score some runs. I expected the Yankees to score more. I still believe that they will score a bunch of runs these next 2 games at home. Even with Bieber on the mound, I expect the Yankees to get to him, and I expect them to get to the bullpen game in Game 4. And then from there, maybe the pressure's back on Toronto about choking it away. However, I would not want to see you Savage in an elimination game in that ballpark. So that's the part of me where maybe has changed a little bit, but I still, at my core, like the Yankees going to be an impossible out. Even in that game yesterday, it was a giveaway game. Yeah. They put a little bit of fear in Blue Jays fans, showing that they could come back like that. Oh, you get some guys on, boom, a home run. Like, that's how they're built. So I still do believe that the Yankees are going to make this a legitimate series, winning the next 2.
I love it. I hope that you're right. And, and as much as I was getting frustrated watching the game, I'm like, look at all these runs that mean nothing. But once I stepped away from like the disappointment and the I think the sheer stunned nature of watching these first 2 games, the score, there is something to be said for, as a team, getting a little mojo, even though they were never going to win the game with a comeback, and just step into the batter's box with a different mentality tomorrow night. Number one, you're at home, but also because most of the guys, knocked the ball around a little bit when the game was completely out of reach. And some of the, I don't know if that's immediately transferable to tomorrow night, but I'll tell you this, you got to have a better chance to hit tomorrow than if you would have lost 13-0.
Yeah, 13-7's a lot better than 13-2 or whatever it would have been. So not that you're taking moral victories, you're certainly not, but just at least saying like, hey, you may have gotten the better of us in these first 2 games. We're still here. And I do think a lot of the circumstance with Toronto exploding you're not going to see Will Warren. You're not going to see Luke Weaver in a key spot. You're going to see the best the Yankees arms have. Hey, it could come down to Rodon. Yeah. If Rodon gets lit up, all bets are off. I didn't think Max Fried was going to get beat up, and he did. If Rodon can only give you 5 innings and Toronto gets to him, then
I think Rodon's going to be good tomorrow night. I trust him not to spin an absolute masterpiece like Schlittler, or not that Fried was a masterpiece in Game 1 against the Red Sox. That was more crochet, but I'm not even expecting that. I'm expecting him to give the Yankees a chance to win. I'd be surprised if that doesn't happen.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Much more about the Yankees with A-Rod coming up at 1 o'clock. Back to the Giants calls. Nick is calling from Huntington. What's up, Nick?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call.
Okay, Nick.
Sal, I know what you're saying. I want sustainability too, but you want to sustain this. I mean, like, Daboll's not going to get fired. I mean, unless the Giants don't do that, unless your name is Macadoofus. but Daboll's teams are consistently unprepared, consistently commit too many penalties and mistakes, and they either get embarrassed or they do just enough to lose. I mean, you can book it next year. They're going to lose week 1 in embarrassing fashion. They're going to have a game against the Cowboys that's right there for the taking. They're going to lose in heartbreak. They don't beat the Eagles. They don't beat the Cowboys. They don't beat the Commanders. I mean, Kane has actually added talent to this team. He's made some questionable moves. I mean, Darius Slayton, I hope you're listening, Darius. You blow. You have 2 jobs.
Nick. Everybody's pissed off today.
2 jobs. You have 2 jobs, Darius. Catch the ball and hold on to it. And you suck at both.
God.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree there. I think it was a little harsh. Nick, what I would say real quick, and we do appreciate your passion, why do you think is the main reason that they lost yesterday? Because you went over Dable and said that he does just enough to lose since he's been here, all that stuff. Why do you think they lost yesterday?
The turnovers.
Okay, and that's not on him is what I'm saying, and thank you for the call. That's on the rookies. And you're right. They haven't beaten the Cowboys, haven't beaten the Eagles, haven't beaten the Commanders, also haven't had a quarterback to do so. Now, forget what Daniel Jones has done elsewhere. He wasn't getting it done here. I actually, not that I'm going to pick the Giants to win, I don't know yet, but I don't think that this is an impossible, lamb to the slaughter feel Thursday night. The Eagles just got beat by the Broncos, and the Broncos are very good, well-coached, very good team, talented all over the place. Giants are nowhere near that level. However, the Eagles have not been playing great football all year long.
No.
And with Jackson Dart, man, again, it looks different if he doesn't turn the ball over, and that's a huge if, but that's what happens with a rookie. To me, with Jackson Dart, we're in the game. You've got a shot with Jackson Dart now. That's all you could ask for. They could run the football much better. Scatterboo is a beast. I bet that he's not going to make those mistakes again. He's a beast. You could run the football with him. The RPO with Dart, that's a weapon that the Giants haven't had. Obviously, without Neighbors, that's a problem. You don't have another receiver. You got Bo Collins there not finishing the route. That led to another. That's not on Dable either. All I'm saying is the Dable-Dart combination, we don't know anything about. We don't know about it. We haven't seen it but 2 games. That's all that I'm saying.
Well, I mean, listen, you want to tell me there's also a little division with Philly? I mean, A.J. Brown talking about that go route where Jalen Hurts overshot him. He threw his quarterback under the bus. I mean, he straight up said, he's like, basically not a good throw. I mean, I don't know what's going on with those two. It's the amount of targets. It's ridiculous here. But I just don't feel like the Giants... And I'm going to just keep it to the next game here. I don't think the Giants against a good team, and the Eagles are still really good, going to come out and look as sharp as they've looked the last 2 times against the Chargers and the Saints. Now, the Chargers are good, but Jim Harbaugh's close to firing his defensive coordinator. Like, that defense is not really locked in here. So if the Giants come out and the first couple of drives they put points up and look sharp against Philly, I'd be a little surprised. Actually, I'd be very surprised. And without Neighbors, with that potential home run, that big play, that big 3rd down and 12 bailout, I still don't know how they're going to win a lot of games.
Fair enough. I'm just saying that the last 2 games, I can feel a significant difference from where we were prior.
I can too. I would be dishonest if I didn't. I can feel that too.
So we all know Dable's record. Like, nobody's going to dispute that. I can't dispute that. All I'm saying is that we are in the infancy stages of evaluating a head coach and his new young quarterback. And I wouldn't just go nuts based off of one result yesterday, even though many of you expected the Giants to win that game. Justin is in Manhattan. What's up, Justin?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I just want to talk about the Jets real quick. I know it's tempting not to care about them. But, when you hire a new coach like that, and we've gone through so many coaches, and it feels like as a Jet fan, we're just hearing the same thing over and over again about changing the culture and accountability. And my question is, when are the Jets going to realize someone that talks about accountability and bringing accountability doesn't actually bring accountability? Like, bringing accountability means setting a set of standards that you hold your organization to, from the players to the coaches to the personnel department. And when was the last time you heard someone like Sean McVay talk about accountability, or Dan Campbell talk about accountability? They just set the standards. They just do it.
Well, hold on, Just. Hang on one second.
I don't want to.
Yeah, hold on. The only thing about Dan Campbell, I didn't really watch his press conferences when he was in his first year with Detroit. I think he started 0-11. I'm sure he dropped some of that stuff like, hey, it's going to take a long time, and we got to get men who are accountable. Otherwise, they're not going to be here. I would say that was probably part of his approach then, just to be fair.
That's true, and that's why I'm not ready to give up on Glenn yet. But I think for the Jets to really turn the corner, there needs to be a real internalization, because you look at that defense, they're not playing with speed. They haven't created a turnover. They're not playing with the physicality that's needed in the NFL.
Nope.
And that's his unit. And we need to see some of that accountability on the field at some point. I know it's only been 5 games, but
they've cut people.
The standard and let's go.
They've cut people. He's pulled people. What do you want him to do? You want him to fight somebody on the bench? I mean, what is there to do now?
No, but the idea that he can be chewed up and spit out by the media and fans, and in just a few weeks, to me, is that's a real thing. The same person, the person that we saw stand up before us before he ever coached the game with the Jets is different than the person that we've seen after 5 weeks, and there's a reason for that. Because it's not just about the losing, it's about all that comes with it. The fact that he had already addressed it's not the same old Jets. And what was the punchback? Yeah, we are the same old Jets. We suck, blah, 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 blah. Now he's like, what the hell have I got myself into? Like, what is going on here? Mm-hmm. My team's not doing anything that I'm coaching them to do. So I've got to figure that out. The media and fans are already coming for me. They're not giving me a chance to even breathe here a few weeks in. Like, that's a lot to overcome. I'm not making excuses for him. He's got to figure it out, but this is an overhaul of epic proportions that takes time. So for those of you who call or say you're done with Aaron Glenn, like, what did you expect? Did you think the Jets were going to be good? They suck. Their quarterback sucks. Their defense sucks. They've sucked for a long time. What did you expect? And it's all on the coach. Now, I'm not saying it's been pretty, BT, because it has been ugly more often than not. However, there are some things that you can see. Like, offensively, they can move the football.
They run the ball. They run the ball.
They ran the football down Miami's throat on an opening drive to a point where I can't remember a Jets team I've seen drive the football like that. The idiot fumbles it on I shouldn't call him an idiot, but you know what I mean.
Braylon Allen.
He fumbles it. I mean, come on, dude. You can't fumble it on the goal line.
It's a great drive.
And the whole game is ruined because he fumbled it on the goal line. One thing Aaron Glenn's talked about, we can't beat ourselves. All they do is beat themselves. Is that the head coach's fault? I don't know. Can't cut everybody. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Well, the one thing you said that, didn't... Okay, so with the same old Jet stuff, he didn't have to address that. He chose to address that. He willingly and proactively and almost preemptively addressed that. Like, if he was asked about it yesterday, like, hey, Aaron, you were here for Kotite. What do you say to Jet fans who feel like it's the same old Jets? And he said what he said a month and a half ago. Well, then that would make more sense. But he started his press conference, and trust me, I took the bait. I was fired up, and I'm not quitting on AG. I'm just quitting on Woody. He's the worst. I'm going to stick by AG for a little bit. But Aaron Glenn said, "Hey, on his press conference, introductory press conference, we're the New York Jets, and we're built for this bleep." That's what he said. And I'm like, all right, here we go. And then shortly thereafter, he, with no prodding, no provocation, he went into, we're not the same old Jets. That was his fault.
WFAN NFL football is powered by Verizon. Get to your local Verizon store today. Approved Oil has been the leading heating oil dealer in New York for over 92 years. And right now, rates are low. Time to lock in for this upcoming winter before the cold weather drives prices up. Call today to lock in your low rate. While there's no guarantee your team will win every Sunday, we know that's not a guarantee with the Jets or Giants here. It's a lock that Approved Oil will have you feeling worry-free this winter. Approved Oil has been delivering a brighter and warmer tomorrow for almost a century. If you want a lower heating bill, it has to be Approved Oil. Visit freezerate.com.
It's Evan and Kiki. Afternoons on the Fan 101.9 FM.
You can't unknow what you already know.
Right.
We know that Cam Schlittler is the man. And at some point, this kid becomes the ace. Now, it's not going to be anytime soon because there's already 3 here, technically, if you want to count Rodon. But let's say 2 because Garrett Cole and Max Reed.
Listen to Evan and Kiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute sponsored by Chumba Casino, your online casino for plays, spins, and a chance to score. Must be 21 and over. Terms at ChumbaCasino.com. 2 top 10 teams fell Saturday. Florida over Texas was a stunner, but UCLA's upset of Penn State was wild. The Bruins were 0-4 and under an interim coach. Shock number 7 Penn State 42-37. College football chaos at its finest. I'm Maggie Gray.
Ready to kick off the fun? Chumba Casino is your go-to game plan during halftime or overtime. From spinning slots to instant scratch-style cards, it's like running the perfect play, all from home. New players score a free welcome bonus and daily logins with a shot at some serious prizes every time you play. Get in the game and visit ChumbaCasino.com today. Let's Chumba. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there, providing hot meals, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Viant, innovating digital advertising. Didn't think you could advertise on the largest sport platforms? Think again. Viant helps brands show up where it counts, on live sports, where audiences are the most engaged. It's simple, smart, and built for results you can actually measure. No wasted time, no wasted spend. Viant. Visit ViantCTV.com and get your message in front of the right audience today.
Ray Catino Lexus of Freehold is the largest Lexus dealership in central and southern New Jersey.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right, bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Athletes know performance starts in the gut. At Terra Origin, we fuse ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with modern science to fuel recovery, resilience, and real results. Our most popular gut health formulas are packed with probiotics, prebiotics, and time-tested herbs, supporting digestion, immunity, and endurance from the inside out. Because your gut powers more than your workout. It powers you. Terra Origin. Ancient roots, athletic results. Shop now at terraorigin.com.
Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical. But did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employee Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Maybe turn them into paper airplanes headed to See Ya Never AT&T and T-Mobile. Jokes aside, the best 5G network has you covered with the most ways to save on plans, streaming, and phone deals. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metrics True Score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person who made the deal. Additional terms apply.
Did you know you can get more with New York Lottery Plus?
You pulling my leg?
No, seriously.
Seriously, just enter scratch off and draw game tickets and get more points.
Pulling a fast one?
No. And you can put your points towards chances to win gift cards, cash prizes, and more.
Is this a stunt?
No, you even get points for playing new games.
You're pulling my chain, aren't you?
No.
Pulling my finger?
What? No. Man, put that thing away.
Sorry.
Introducing New York Lottery Plus. Download the app, sign up, get more. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
All right, BT Sal back on the Fan 1246. Obviously, a day of unhappiness and some misery here. Yankees, Jets, Giants, A-Rod coming up. Top of the hour. Right now, though, time for the Corona Lime Time highlight of the night. And as we know, the Jays jumping out early.
Is Ernie Clement, right-hand hitter. Places in an uproar. Breaking ball swung on, hit deep to left. Going back, Bellinger on the track. Looking up, it's gone.
All right, that's how it sounded. Of course, they've gone. Dave Sims and Susan Waltman with some audible grunts, and understandably in the background there on the Fan last night. Yankees getting absolutely hammered. And, I'm watching that, and I did not think he got that. That was a 75-mile-per-hour curveball. Now, most of the other ones were just a hit on the absolute barrel, but he was in front of that, and I did not think that ball was going out. You look up, it's in the seats. Yanks down 2-0.
Can I be honest with you?
Yes.
I'm going to be really honest with you for a second.
Go ahead.
I don't want you to get upset at me.
No, I'm not. Good.
I enjoyed every second of that game yesterday.
Did you enjoy Juan Soto's Instagram post last night? Did you see that?
I did see that.
That's got to bother you as a Mets fan. His post, where is he? Cancun? Where'd he go?
He's in Cancun. That's what he said. Literally Cancun.
It was Cancun, right? But come on,
nice.
Juan. Hey, listen, he deserves it. He had a good season. The season's over. But I don't know. I have a little bit more understanding where the Met fan is right now to post that on Instagram. Give me a break.
But think about it. What's the alternative?
I know you want the Yankees. You don't want the Yankees to win the World Series. I get it.
Well, I'm just going to say that. Now, you know that, I do want to root for Booney, and I really do believe the Yankees are coming back in the series. I wholeheartedly believe. I'm not going to say win it. I wholeheartedly believe it's going to go to 5, and then anything's possible. My core tells me that they're better. Their bats are better than this, and at home, with the Blue Jays' worst pitching, Game 3 and Game 4, even if Bieber looks like Bieber, I still think the Yankees' bats get going.
Okay.
And maybe Toronto's best shot is, in fact, to sweep the Yankees. Otherwise, they let them off the mat a little bit. Game 4, more momentum. Schlittler on the mound. Yanks bats against the bullpen. Now Game 5, all the pressure on them. But, look, I'd be lying to you, dude. I stopped hating the Yankees a long time ago. Mm-hmm. That hatred starting to come back up.
It is.
Yeah, because of the Soto stuff that has happened in the offseason and again this season. And the Mets have been so awful. And we know the Mets' misery. There's nothing that can come good of the Yankees losing. It's not going to make not going to make it any better for the Mets. But I would bet you that the majority of Met fans, even if you don't hate the Yankees, just want the Yankees out because it's been such a bad year and tired of seeing the Yankee fans have some joy.
See, I'm trying to put myself in the other shoes here. Two pairs. Number one, if the Mets were playing right now and the Yankees were not, and then maybe more specific to this conversation, if I'm you and you are me, and it's the rooting into dynamics as they are normally.
How would you feel? Right.
I would want the Yankees to beat Toronto. I would want the Yankees to win the American League Championship Series. And then I would want the Yankees to lose in humiliating fashion on the World Series stage.
Somebody else said that to me as I was
talking.
That
to me is the most pain from a Yankee perspective.
Yeah, I never played that game. Somebody was, I think it was Loogie was telling me last week that Bob Husler, who was the leader of the crack committee,
Mr. Met?
used to want that to be the case. Root for the Yankees to get Game 7 of the World Series every year and then lose.
And then lose.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Really?
I just want them
you
out.
don't want to take the chance, or you just don't want the Yankee fans to have another month of fun before they actually, if they were to lose?
I just can't. I'm sorry, I can't root for them to win, or at least in this particular case, I can't root for them to win.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I never thought about, let's let them win and get to Game 7 of the World Series. No.
Yeah.
It's good for business if the Yankees keep winning, so it's fine. And I do love watching the games and talking about it. I'm just telling you that, the fan in me, after all the smack the Yankees
back out. He's coming back out.
Yeah, I can't.
He's out of the
couldn't
cage.
help it.
Good.
That absolute ass whooping was refreshing to me. I got to be honest.
I like the honesty.
Yeah.
I get it. And by the way, though, the other thing you got to factor in here, which could maybe change how you view what you want the Yankees to do. If the Yankees lose tomorrow, we got to talk Jets and Giants, dude.
Yeah, no, go Yankees.
Who the hell wants to do that?
Well, that would be too soon. That's why maybe this is the perfect little, let the Yankees win a couple of games here, maybe go. And I wouldn't mind an ALCS. I'm just telling you, I'll adjust accordingly. I just, Like, it wasn't like I was watching that game going, oh, crap. I was watching that game going, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beating the snot out of
you
them.
weren't alone. When Judge misplayed that ball, that was horrible. In the right field corner, that was before the home run that we just played for Clement. That was Varshaw's ball down the line. I mean, if I'm a Met fan, I'm sitting there saying, catch the ball. Yeah. If I'm a Met fan and Fried's getting whacked, I'm sitting there saying he's getting his brains beat in.
All right, well, what do you think is the biggest impetus behind the Mets-Yankees trash talk?
For me or for most?
No, just for most in general. Bingo.
Soto.
Right. So when you see Judge misplay a ball and right, when you see Judge continue to have postseason failures, if we went over the whole, I believe that plan A with Soto was better than plan B, like Soto got him to a World Series a year ago. So to get back to that point and then, there's a lot that they have to do.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's the primary factor.
Dude, there's a lot of takes that we have had emotional connection to that are either going to be denounced or proven right.
Right.
I get it. I honestly do. 888-808-1019, BT and Sal on the Fan. By the way, the highlight that we played there, the home run, that was the Corona Lime Time highlight of the night, brought to you by Corona, the official cerveza of Major League Baseball. Soto's having a few of those right now on the beach, I'm sure. Enjoy your wine. Have fun.
It is. I was not bothered by it. I just don't care. Like, think of the alternative. All right, so he's young kids. They're going to go to social media and put that stuff out there, right? I mean, that's what they do.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you have to show the flyover going to Cancun?
You
while
don't.
The Yankees are
that would bother. See, it's funny. Now, again, if the Mets,
nobody else is posting that. Only Soto.
I think it would bother me more, and I think this is a different reaction than most people would have. I think it would bother me more if, rather than the Mets getting to and maybe winning the World Series, I hope by now people know I don't really hate on the Mets. I'm not jealous of the Mets. Most of the time, I don't really factor in the Mets outside of my job, of course, and more so historically because the Yankees were so dominant for so long. But I think it would bother me more if, like, Judge or one of the Yankees put the Instagram beach, like, after, I don't know. I think that would bother me more. I'm not saying don't go and have a great time. Dude, you had a hell of a season. Talking about Soto. Put up big numbers after a really rough start and some head-scratching inability to perform in the clutch, which was not Soto. But, like, as that happened, I'm like, just go to the beach. I don't care if you have, five women feeding you grapes and fanning you on a hammock. Do what you got to do. Have fun. But to post the beach when the Mets, the way they finished,
You know what it just shows you? Because he left himself, he just doesn't care. He doesn't care. He left himself open for the jokes and the Mets punching back. Oh, yeah, of course you're in Cancun. You should be in the postseason, but you're not. You guys failed. $765 million. Team's taking a shot at you. Nick Castellanos taking a shot at the Mets. So you saw that last week. He doesn't care. He's like, here, I'm going to Cancun with my family, whoever. I'm enjoying it. I don't care what you have to say. BT and Sal on the Fan. We do care what A-Rod has to say. He'll be joining us when we come back. 888-808-1019. We'll get to your calls next hour as well. But A-Rod joins us next on the Fan.
A disappointing weekend in Toronto leaves the Yankees with their backs to the wall, facing elimination.
Swing and a miss, got him. All game over. And the Blue Jays take a 2-0 lead in this ALDS.
A return home to the Bronx could be just what the Bombers need to turn things around.
We haven't lost any confidence. Obviously they've had our number and gotten the better of us so far this year. But I don't think anyone in our room doesn't feel like we can't go out and beat them.
Catch all the action tomorrow. First pitch, 8:08 on your home for New York Yankees baseball. 1019 WFAN. And always live on the free Odyssey app.
At Audi Manhattan, experience best-in-class service in the heart of New York. Visit their Audi flagship store today, conveniently located on 55th and 11th. Audi Manhattan, where luxury meets excellence.
So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx, made some mistakes, but eventually becomes one of those hard-working citizens who keep our city going. But he gets pulmonary fibrosis, and his only hope is a lung transplant. When one hospital, Montefiore, Einstein, get him a new lung, and they give him a new life. Right. Everyone in his neighborhood is like,
they give that guy a new lung or a new motor.
It's story, Mr. Giamatti. Well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera, you lived it.
Everyone loves a comeback. Montefiore Einstein, national leader in transplant.
Run or walk with Giants legends.
The Giants Foundation will host a 5K race and kids run presented by Quest on Sunday, October 26th at 9 a.m. at MetLife Stadium. Net proceeds will benefit the Giants Foundation. All participants will receive a commemorative t-shirt, and after the race, stay for a post-race festival with appearances by Giants legends and a live DJ. Register now at Giants.com/5K. The Giants Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Rock and roll will never die, and neither will the low prices. It's the Rocktober Savings Event at Nielsen Dodge. We've turned up the volume on Rocktober Savings on any new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $199 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X 4x4, just $224 a month.
We're rocking out the deals with 0 down payment available. $1,500 overbook value for any trade. If you need credit help, we're here to make it happen. And of course, great deals.
On Route 10 in East Hanover, online at NielsenDodge.com, a proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So for head-banging deals that are music to your ears, at Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Drive into fall event.
With approval term 24 months, due sign Cherokee 5794, Cherokee L 5819, ag tax type 498, doc and DMV.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6812. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6812. That's 800-575-6812. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Game day starts with the right truck, and Arnold Chevrolet has yours. Over 50 Silverado models in stock, from the family-friendly 1500 to the heavy-duty 3500 built to tow, haul, and handle any job. And right now, save up to $7,500 off MSRP. That's right, $7,500 off on select Silverado models. Our loyal sales and management team has been helping Long Island drivers for decades. And this season, we're serving up tailgate deals on our full lineup of trucks and SUVs. Visit Arnold Chevrolet in West Babylon or online at arnoldsautos.com. Because nobody discounts like Arnold. Include Chevrolet, select market purchase, loyalty to qualify.
More BT and Sal coming up on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit Visit oil.slomans.com.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 101. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by the United Healthcare Medicare store in Jackson Heights. After reviewing more evidence, prosecutors in Indianapolis have added felony battery to the charges that Mark Sanchez is facing for allegedly starting the altercation Friday night that left him with multiple stab wounds to the chest. This new charge carries a 1 to 6 year sentence if convicted. It appears that tomorrow's initial court hearing has been canceled. There is now a pre-trial conference scheduled for November 4th. The National League is back on the field today. Game 2s in Philly at 6 and Milwaukee at 9. The Phils hoping to salvage a split with the Dodgers. The Brewers going for a 2-0 lead on the Cubs. A-Rod talks the Yanks and all of postseason baseball with BT and Sal after this update. Fan weather is sponsored by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they're the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. It's 75 and sunny in Central Park. And that's what's happening. Sports flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
New York sports is more than a game. It's a lifestyle. WFAN is the only place where Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets fans come together and sound off. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
If you are what you say you are.
The BT Sal Show on the Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. We come live from the Mike Francesa Studios, in which has a banner to my left honoring number 13, A-Rod Day, February 16, 2024. I'm not sure why we have that, but that's the Evan and Tiki thing. Right now on the BT and Sal Show, we welcome in the man whose number hangs in our rafters here in the Mike Francesa Studio, Alex Rodriguez. What's up, A-Rod?
What's up, Sal? What's up, BT? Good to be here, man.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you. I appreciate you doing this. We certainly appreciate you doing this, and we got a chance to talk some ball here. I mean, listen, Alex, everybody's going to have a rough night. So the game one, Heel hadn't pitched in a while. Yankees got smacked around. Weaver obviously didn't get the job done. What happened yesterday was stunning to me, and I want to start here. The Yankee at-bats, or their approach is all out of whack. What are you seeing? Because they just look like a different team.
Yeah, no, BT, look, I'll tell you this. I was shocked by Max Fried. I thought he would come up and throw a big game, but, he's human and that's an egg. But what I wasn't surprised is a top-tier type pitcher dominating his offense. Now, we never knew that this Savage guy would be that good, but he had him dancing in a rocking chair all night with the change-up split. It reminded me of Mike Scott against the Mets back in the 86 series. It was, incredible.
A-Rod, speaking my language, 86 Mets. We'll get into a year to remember a little bit later on, as I know that's a common bond that we have. How challenging is that for a team? Is that more on the pitcher just being as nasty as can be, or is that the offense struggling? Is it the first-time matchup? Like, do you expect a different result if there's a Game 5? Take me through the mind of a hitter when facing a pitcher as nasty as that for the first time.
It's hard, right? Because here's a young man who had 23 starts. 14 of those were an A-ball. So that's a gift and a curse because no one has any experience against him. Usually, the more you see a pitcher, advantage starts to, tilt towards the hitter. But nevertheless, 11 strikeouts in 5 innings and 8 of them on that change split. It was like they could not see it. They couldn't pick it up. He also has a very unique over-the-top delivery, which you don't see very often. And he had him dancing. But the most frustrating part, guys, is that when you look at the barometer, right? Let's use 09 because that's the last time we won a title. 1 through 7, we had the same lineup basically for 5 years. You go from Jeter, Damon, Tex, A-Rod, Matsui, Posada, and Cano. And, you talk about 2004, what happened, the meltdown, the tragic meltdown, right, which I was right in the center of, we had to feel ourselves off the ground. And 5 years later, in 2009, we had exactly the same roster. Now, what happened in 2004, there wasn't much continuity. We were all new to the thing. And at the end of the day, we had a bunch of great players. And I said last night on the telecast, great players do not win titles. Great teams do. And in 2004, we had great players. But in 2009, we finally became a team and finished the mission.
I got to tell you, I love the way you framed that. And Derek even said something very similar. Listen, of course, Aaron Judge is going to get all the heat here, even though he's got a high average. He's not hitting with any sort of oomph. He's not really banging the ball around the yard. And Derek said, hey, listen, and he ran through every single name, 1 through 9. It's everybody's fault. A lot of empty at-bats here. And it only is going to get worse made by the pressure. And nobody can speak to the pressure more than you. So what do you think that back to Judge, what do you think the Judge is feeling at this point? Championship list still, an amazing player, and a game away from being bounced. What is he thinking right now? What does he feel tomorrow night?
Well, baseball's a unique sport, right? It's unlike, Tom Brady coming down and he has the ball, or Magic Johnson or Michael Jordan. They ultimately control the last play because it's in their hands. The greatest player of all time is Barry Bonds. He never won a title. Here's what I can tell you guys is that I had incredible players around me. And we are lucky to be witnessing one of the greatest players of all time, one of the greatest human beings that I've ever been around as a young player. When I was, he started to come up and I just started seeing his habits, the way he behaves. He is one of a kind. And I think it's a mistake if all we want to talk about is, his shortcomings. The way you get Judge going is you got to everyone talks about who's hitting behind him. What's more important is who's hitting in front of him. And he had one situation with a base loaded. He came up short. He made a bastard pitch, 3-2 split. I think the mistake on that at bat, and that means that when you're a little bit on your heels, he got the best pitch was a fastball right down Broadway, and he didn't budge. And I knew after he took that was the last good pitch he was going to see, and that was the case. But the more you can get guys in front of him, create traffic, Aaron Judge is never going to be your problem. And you're looking at a roster here that in the course of 6 or 7 years, he's going to play with like 150 different guys. There's no continuity. He's the only guy standing. Now imagine a world where you have Soto, like you had last year, Soto and Judge. Wouldn't it be nice to have that for 3 or 4 years? You have a one and out. It's hard to build continuity that way.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We're talking with Alex Rodriguez. Catch him on the Fox pre- and post-game show. Does a great job alongside Kevin Burkhardt, our friend, Big Poppy, Derek Jeter there. By the way, A-Rod, do you have to pick the Yankees every time? You and Jeter picking the Yankees. We get
I can't help myself, Sal.
Come on, you're a Met fan. You grew up a Met fan. Be unbiased with the picks.
Well, I would. Listen, Mets are my second favorite team. I grew up a Mets fan. Hernandez and Doc and Strawberry. But, the Mets are in Cancun already. I can't cheer for them.
And, of course, we learned that from Juan Soto's Instagram post. So let me just ask you flat out. You think this series is over?
No, I don't. Look, they've been atrocious up in Rogers. I don't know what the hell's going on up there. But I heard you guys earlier that you guys are both correct. And, by the way, you guys do a great job. I really enjoy listening to you guys. Really smart stuff. I just tune off when you guys talk football because I'm not a football guy. But I love
the Canes the Canes finally looking good. Yeah. Not that we get into that, but I'm sure you're into that.
Sal, thank God. My Hurricanes, we've had a bunch of head fakes the last 15 years, and we're finally back, and we're number 2, and I'm just praying to God we can get the glory days back.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's over. Look, they've been terrible up there. They're 1-7. They've actually dominated the Jays here at home in the Bronx. They've won 4 out of 6. And all it takes is one game to change this thing. Derek's been talking about it, Jeter, on the telecast the last few nights. October is about momentum and is about narratives. And you throw a big shutdown, you win a game 8-1, get the fans going. You got Cam going game 4, and you never know. If you're Max Fried, you just want one more chance at it. But it starts with one win, one fix at a time. No time to feel sorry. There's a time to be positive and try to come together as a team.
Hey, Alex, by the way, does Cam remind you of anybody in baseball history?
Boy, that performance is unbelievable. Kurt Schilling on his prime when it was in Phoenix and Boston. Just the ability to, throw that fastball that is coming is a straight heater. And by the way, BT, you've been on this all year. When we went to lunch, you said to me exactly, I think this guy Cam can give us 7 innings and punch out 10. So you're a bit of a prophet. But what I like most is his composure, his size. The ball comes off his hand, it comes out hot, and he looks like he's been there, and he looks like a winning player, and he's got the composure of a champion. But the biggest thing this roster can do, it's a really strange roster when you have 3 catchers, you have a handful of DHs. It's just really hard to navigate, and I think Boone gets way too much flack. I think he's a good manager. I said this joking around in jest, but I kind of mean it. You take all the bean counters in the month of October, you lock them up in a boiler room and let them stay there till mid-November. If you're Cashman, trust your fans, trust your manager, trust your players. No micromanaging. You got to have instincts, and you have to have guts.
Yeah.
You have to trust your eyes.
I want to follow up on Boone. All right, so Torrey had an amazing array of players, okay? Girardi, we talked about 09, had an amazing 1 through 7, and CeCe comes in, Burnett comes in. We know what they had, champions, right? To me, Aaron Boone's had 1 million first basemen, 1 million third basemen, 1 million left fielders, 5 catchers, 5 center fielders, 4 different closers. I'm not saying he's Miller Huggins, Alex. I'm not even saying he's necessarily Joe Torre. But the heat that Boone gets, like, to me, show me, and it might be this series, quite frankly, but show me the series that Aaron Boone has lost that he was supposed to win, where he was favored. I don't think there's many of those series.
It's funny, Sal, they talk about, in politics, you talk about big government and you talk small corporate, or you talk about small corporate, big government. To me, the shift has been when Joe Torre and Lou Piniella were the managers, they had all the power. That has shifted up to the front offices. So for me, who I want to listen to after the games is not necessarily Boone, because he's not making all his decisions. I want to listen to Mike Fishman and Cashman and who's making these decisions, and help the fans understand why we're doing the things. The why has to be explained. And I just feel that Boone is a mouthpiece, and he's a wonderful manager, and I don't think he should be fired. I think he has an incredible future, but he's been dealt a very, very tough hand, and he has to answer for front office decisions that he's not making.
Yes.
I actually think Boone's very good.
You think Cashman still has the fastball that he had a couple of years ago, or 10? Do you think he's still the same effectiveness?
Well, I don't know if anyone could be the same for 30 years. I mean, that is a long time, but it's and I don't know Mike Fishman as well. He was there a little bit. I know 09 we used very, very little front office things. Joe Girardi runs shop. We had a great captain, Derek Jeter. We had continuity across the board. We knew exactly what everyone was going to do on every situation. There was no surprises. We knew who the 7th inning guy was, the 8th inning, and of course we had Mo. We knew who was going to lead off. We knew who. I'll tell you this, right before the Game 6 of the World Series, I always had a hard time against Pedro Martinez, and I was kind of trying to think about what was going to be my game plan in Game 6 when Andy Pettit faced Pedro. And about an hour before the game, I'm sitting there with Matsui, and I'm taping my ankles. Gene Monahan and Steve Donahue is taping his ankles. And I look over to Matsui. I said, Matsui, what are you going to do with Pedro today? What's your game plan? And he just smiled. And, Matsui is just a classy act. Very monotone. He says to me, I see the ball well. I said, how well? He goes, I see the ball sometimes like a softball. I said, shoot, sometimes I see the ball like a golf ball, Pedro. So once he told me that 45 minutes before the game, my approach had changed. I just said, I have to pass the baton and put Matsui in a situation where he can do damage. And sure enough, 2 home runs, a double, and an MVP later, and a title. But that only happens with continuity and having a relationship with all your teammates.
BT Sal on the Fair. We're talking with Alex Rodriguez. Catch him on the FS1. The Fox family pre- and post-games around these playoff games here does a great job with Jeter, Ortiz, and, of course, Kevin Burkhardt leading the way. You talk about Boone and being a manager. One of my favorite things about you, A-Rod, has always been your passion, knowledge, and love for the game. Lots of managerial openings. You thinking about diving back in at some point to be a big league manager?
No, never. I love the game so much. I get my fix from Fox, where I do the All-Star Game playoffs and World Series. And I have 2 daughters, one a junior in college and the other one who's a senior in high school. And I have my hands full with a lot going on.
Well, one thing you don't have to worry about is cutting those Michigan checks, because even though they're not cheap, I'm sure A-Rod's got a few bucks in the bank, huh, buddy? That college, that's not an issue for you.
Dude, speaking of which, that place on Instagram, I know I've been following along on A-Rod's Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
What is that? Is that like your L.A. home, that pool? Oh, my God, that looks beautiful out there overlooking the hills.
Oh, man, I feel so sorry for you, Sal, if you're looking at my Instagram. I'm sorry about that.
I wanted to prep for the interview.
Sal, anytime you're out here, you can come over. We're going to watch a little football, a little baseball, watch your Mets, watch your Jets, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, by the way, Sal.
I'm on the next flight. I'll leave my wife and kid at home, A-Rod. Don't tempt me. I'll be out there.
Dude, he'll take you up on it, man. Trust me. He'll be knocking on your door. You'll be sitting next to Poppy and Jeets. He'll be on your doorstep.
I'll bring the food. Don't worry about it.
Alex, he said to me, he's like, when I told him we were going to lunch, he's like, "What? I can't go." I'm like, "No, not yet. You know, we gotta do our thing." Is Sal? Can he come to the next one or no?
By the way, absolutely. Sal's always invited. And BT, we got to go back to that place. That place was outstanding with great pasta.
Yeah. I mean, I could have had 5 beers there instead of 2. I know you just got back from vacation. So let me ask you about this here. Back to Boone and back to 2 things that bother me. Number 1, Luke Weaver is unpitchable at this point, in my opinion. And then obviously you tell me if you disagree. That's the first thing. And when you're going to have a pitcher go into a situation that he's not accustomed to, like Will Warren coming in with 2 on, nobody out in the middle of an inning. And I like Boone, and I defend Boone. I think he's good, but I thought that those were 2 bad decisions. How did you unpack both of those things?
I mean, look, when your ace pitcher, can't get through the 4th inning, Boone's hands are tied, right? I mean, I think Boone gets paid the big bucks for making the decisions. Who comes in the 7th or 8th inning? Does he take somebody in when you're protecting the lead? I mean, look, you can make arguments against or for. But BT, you don't win that losing game because, Boone made that mistake. I mean, to me, you lose that game when I always say in October, contact is king. And, the Yankees strike out 21 times versus 7 of the Blue Jays, which means you have 14 times, if you're the Blue Jays, an opportunity for something good to happen. Mm-hmm. And for the Yankees, whose defense has been pretty shaky all year, you have 14 opportunities to screw up. And there's no gimmies in October because there's pressure and anxiety and a routine ground ball. I mean, you've seen more bunts being thrown into right field than anything else. So contact's king, and you also have to value 90 feet. And it's hard when you have a marathon of 6 months, you don't care about 90 feet, and then all of a sudden in October you do, but at that time it's too late. You can't execute.
So then, Alex, why would you think then the Yankees could not only win this series from the beginning, but come back? Because the Blue Jays do exactly what you're talking about. The Yankees have not. It's been all or nothing. Then why would you feel encouraged that they could come back?
I feel encouraged because they're a much better team at home. I think Rondon has been much, much better this year. He's had a great year. I think the juice of the fans are going to, get them going. But it's important. I can't emphasize how vital it is for them to score a crooked number in the first 2 innings, get the crowd going, get the ugly memories from game 1 and 2 behind them, and play as bullies. Now, yesterday, if you study yesterday's game, BT and Sal, that was a perfect example, a microcosm of who the Yankees have shown to be for the past 2 or 3 years. You have a top-tier pitcher who dominated them. They went through them like water. They bring in a secondary and tertiary bullpen for the Blue Jays. They destroy them like bullies. Mm-hmm. They bring back their setup, and they shut them down again. So in a matter of 9 innings, we saw the evolution of who the Yankees have been. They beat up on bad pitching. And for the most part, they have not been able to manufacture runs against elite pitching.
All right, so Alex, if that's the case, and it is, they've struck out 50 times, they've got 10 walks. This has been a problem for years with the Yankees. If that's the case, that's why, and I'm not trying to pull you into a Barry Cashman conversation here, but that's fundamentally, to me, one of the biggest issues with the Yankees. When you can't handle good pitching, you can't tell me that you're built the right way. And this happens every single season.
Well, I mean, Sal, all you have to do is look at the really good moves that Cashman made this year, and they're pretty subtle, right? But McMahon has transformed this team. And McMahon reminds me a lot of what Scott Brosius did when you have guys like, Jimmy Key, David Wells, Andy Pettitte. Historically, Yankee pitching, Ron Guidry, it's heavy left-handed pitching, as this roster. And when you have stability there, where McMahon's going to be really, really good and very confident defensively, that's been a game changer. You have Rosario and Caballero. Now you give 2 options to Boone to have out of the bench. It's just common sense. I think sometimes the data and analytics teams, they get so involved and so in the weeds. Man, you just need to have someone give you 6 or 7 innings, give me a bullpen, give me someone that can catch the ball, some good contact, some good timely hitting, hit behind the runners. But you got to get back to playing the game of baseball, teaching the game of baseball, and stop depending on iPads.
Amen, man. Talking to Alex Rodriguez, of course, A-Rod, BT and Sal, and you catch Alex on the Fox, whether it's Fox the National or FS1. They were yesterday, of course, Big Poppy, Jeets, Kevin Burkhardt, who we know and love. So Alex, what is your opinion? I know that baseball is incredibly unpredictable. Like, if you're a star NBA player, you generally flash right away. You know, baseball, the curve is a little different here. It's year 3 for Volpe. You and I have texted about this. We've talked about Anthony Volpe's development. Like, what kind of player should he be in your eyes based on the skill set, where he is now? What is your take? I know what it is, but I want everybody to know what you think about Volpe.
You know, what I think about Volpe, I think Volpe has an ability to be a very good Major League shortstop. I would love, and I only say this, guys, because I was privileged enough to have a guy like Larry Boa, Willie Randolph, Luis Sojo, guys who are just great teachers. Sam Perlazzo, going back to my Seattle days, some unbelievable teachers of the game of baseball. And I'm not sure what's being taught for a kid like Volpe, but I wish he had 2 weeks with the great Larry Boa, and I'm telling you, this kid can be an all-star. And you look at, I don't know if you had a chance to see the late games with Seattle. Polanco hits 2 home runs. And if you look at it from the side, it looks like he's just throwing his hands. It looks like, and BT, we talk about this, just being a good hitter, quiet the body, stay on top of the baseball, and throw his hands. I mean, it looks like hit and runs. It just, you know, Torrey taught me this, you know, in big moments, think small and big things will happen. And sometimes you see these helicopter swings from Volpe with 2 strikes. I'm thinking it's Reggie Jackson. He's going down to 1 knee.
Yeah.
That's not ability. That's whoever's, and I think they have a great coaching staff. I just don't know what's being taught, because what I would do is I would get, you know, all the Derek Jeter films he can have, study it. Just like I studied Cal Ripken, I would study, because great students, great players are great students, and he just has to stay on top of the ball, use his legs, cut down strikeouts by 50%, and I think he could be a dynamic player. But his approach right now is my biggest issue.
I agree with you.
I don't want home runs. I don't want home runs.
I'm sorry, my bad. I agree with you. But I guess the question is, at what point are you too far down the road with an approach that it's almost impossible to change at that level?
I'm telling you, if you let Larry Boa 2 weeks, he'll change everything. I mean,
wow.
It's just an approach, right? Like, he has an approach that it's almost like he has a lob wedge in his hand. And what I want to do is I want him to stay on top of the ball and think like he's chopping at the ball. Because, look, if they throw you 100 fastballs right down the middle and you swing, you're going to be, if you miss them, you're going to miss 100% underneath them. You're never going to swing over a 4-seam fastball. So you almost have to trick yourself and think on top of the baseball, inside, I'm actually going to hit an imaginary baseball that's on top of the baseball, and you're going to make a lot more contact. But you got to swing down through the ball and then finish high. But I think what they're teaching is scoop the ball, like go underneath. And if you're Aaron Judge and you're some of those great ones, Stanton, that's great. But Stanton and Judge are completely different than Volpe, and it looks like they're selling the same book for all players, and it's not a custom-made suit.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We're talking with Alex Rodriguez, of course, lifelong Met fan like myself. A-Rod, what happened to our Mets this year?
Hey, listen, I'm a huge Mets believer, and here's what I would tell you. It's continuity, guys. Like, look, when you're a trader, and I'm not talking about Steve Cohen or anyone, but when you come from data and analytics, you put very little value on the human element. The ability to play, just because you hit 30, 40 home runs in Seattle or Anaheim or here, doesn't mean you're going to come to the box of New York where you guys have you have really, really smart fans, passionate. Not those pinstripes are heavy, and that doesn't mean you're going to be able to perform there and at the highest level. So I don't know. That's a tricky one.
Well, I got one for you here. So you weren't too far away from owning the Mets. Let's say if you would have won that and you did own the Mets, how would you treat Pete Alonso's free agency? Because we know what he is with the defense, which isn't great, not an athlete, and right-handed stuff, but an amazing power hitter. How would you value him?
Well, to me, Sal, you can't make decisions based on, what do you want to do for this year? I think you have to look at windows, right? What's our 3-year window? What's our 5-year window? And if Alonso fits in that window, then you sign him. But you have to start building some continuity. And the only way you get the big ROI is think about you guys. You guys are great, and you're better this year than you were 3 years ago. And you're going to be a lot better in 3 years than you are today. It's just a matter of getting better. It's like brothers and sisters, right? Like you can finish each other's sentences. Well, my God, don't you think that helped me to play 15 years next to Derek Jeter? I knew everything that he wanted to do and back and forth. Could you find a better third baseman? Sure. Could you find a better shortstop? I don't think so. But together, we were pretty darn dynamic.
Oh,
but
stop, dude. Stop being so humble. You should stop being so humble.
No, you know what I mean.
Come on, I know what you mean. You were the better
it,
shortstop. Stop. Come on. Come on.
No, but playing together helps. And I think,
I got you.
You know, you're going to do a big transformation and change the roster over again?
Yeah.
Then that's going to take another 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
By the way, I think we're learning why, BT, you got invited to the lunch.
Yeah.
A-Rod clearly thought he was asking me to go. And it was,
yeah. First time I ignored it, second time, it's BT, it's not Sal. Come on, A-Rod.
No, it's all right. We both sound alike. We get that. A-Rod, how about your this is Sal here, Yankee legacy. Are you happy with where you I noticed you weren't at Old Timers Day. I'd like to know why, but are you happy with your New York Yankee legacy?
Oh, man, Sal, I couldn't be happier, honestly. Like, with all the stuff that I put myself through and some of the pain that cost myself and my family, I've learned so much. I'm in such a good place. I love the New York Yankees. They treated me fantastic, and I was invited to Old Timers Day a couple years ago. It was an honor. I sprinted there, and anytime they invite me back, I'm always here to help. But yeah, I'm very happy with my situation.
How much you missed the game, man? I mean, you talk about like rats, gym rats. You were a baseball rat, you cage rat, you ground ball rat, just a baseball rat. How about you have to miss the game tremendously?
Well, I miss being around young players. I miss teaching. Try to learn every day, even to this day. I watch every single game. Try to watch every pitch. If not, I record it. I watch you guys when you're talking about baseball because I love it so much.
He does.
It's been my first love, and it always has been, and it always will be. But I get my fix with Fox. I think we have an incredible group with Poppy and Jeter and Kevin Burkhardt trying to teach America what we saw through our eyes and make it digestible and fun. And if you guys saw us last night, we were up to like 12 or 1 in the morning, and the wheels were coming off, and we were having a lot of fun.
But that's what you got to do. Like Charles and Kenny and Shaq, when the wheels come off, that's what's great. And that's where I think you talk about whether it's me and Sal doing a show together or continuity with the lineup. Like the more you can finish a thought and know where the other person's going and know that like that trust is obviously there, then you could just be loose, and those are the best broadcasts, man.
Hey, take it's not continuity just in sports. I mean, I was just saying how much he's improved on TV, how much Poppy's improved. I think all of us collectively we've improved, and we have more confidence, more continuity. We go back and forth a lot more. And yeah, can you replace me? Can you replace Poppy? Sure, but are we going to be better as a whole?
Yeah.
And again, teams is what wins, and not just individuals, figureheads.
So, Alex, mentioned before about the Mets. Now, you don't own the Mets, but you got a nice chunk of the T-Wolves. So, we're all Knick guys in this city here. To be honest, does Cat have the heart to lead this team into June? Are we going to win a championship with Cat? You know him well.
I think Cat is a unique, incredible player. Yes, I think he has the heart, the courage. He has everything that it takes to be a championship player, and you guys have a good one there. I was hoping last year, fellas, for a Timberwolves-Knicks final. That would have been unbelievable. I would have came to your show and hosted with you guys for a day.
Man.
Oh, man, we would have sat in the owner's box with you. There you go.
That would have been sick.
Dude, can we come anyway? We probably could.
Well, you guys can sit with me anyways. You don't need to be in the championship. You guys are my buddies.
That's awesome, man.
Oh, look at A-Rod. Now, really playing. A-Rod, I'm going to take you up on this. One last thing for me before we let you go. You claim to be an 86 Met. You reference Hernandez and Carter and Straw. Have you seen 1986, A Year to Remember? The VHS tape. Have you ever seen that?
Sal, you didn't just ask me that. You didn't just ask me that, right?
Put him in his place.
Wow, boys, hot foot.
Hot foot.
Okay.
I'm just making sure.
Like 5 times I've watched that.
Just wanted to
I loved it. I loved
there you go. Just wanted to make sure because that confirms to me at least, not that you needed to get my approval, but in this case you did. That confirms that you are an 86 Met fan. And A-Rod, I will say this: when I come over to that beautiful place you have there in L.A., I'm bringing the VHS and we will watch that 1986 You Remember together because I know we are Mets fans together. Me and Alex Rodriguez, huge Met fans. BT.
Have fun. Have fun. Hey, you passed the test, Alex. Don't you feel good? You feel good? You passed Sal's test. Oh, man.
What?
You passed the test. You wanted to see if you were a real Mets guy. Well, listen, man.
Thank you. Definitely.
30 minutes. Very generous with your time. I know you're in transit right now. Tell Nick I appreciate him. Tell him I appreciate him for putting everything together. And keep doing your thing with Poppy and Derek, and the analysis is top flight. And listen, I will say this too. You're making fun of Sal looking at your Instagram. Alex puts out a lot of baseball content for young baseball players, which I love. And there's a lot of parents out there, softball players, baseball. Check it out. You know nobody loves the game more than Alex Rodriguez. So really good stuff, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you guys and keep up the great work. And, hey, maybe the Yankees get a little luck here and we can do this again in late fall. That'd be awesome.
Oh, let's go, baby. Nice.
Hey,
you
now,
got it.
Now you know what?
Let's go.
There you go, A-Rod. Thank you very much. Now we root for the Yankees because I love to get A-Rod in studio.
He'll come in, too.
Yeah.
He would come in.
That was fun, man. You know, he was one of my favorite. Remember, too, as a kid for me, I remember being at the Rich Martin baseball camp, which they used to have at Hofstra.
I remember. I
might have talked about this.
I played against Rich Martin.
Okay, I didn't play. You know, he was a manager at Hofstra at that point,
sure.
and he would host a camp.
He was good.
I would go with my buddy Nick Whalen, and we went a couple years in a row.
To
the summer camp. It was great.
Yeah, it was good. He was a good coach.
Baseball. Now, at that time, I was probably 15 years old, whatever it may be. But A-Rod, dude, was coming up. I think he was 18 when he first came up with Seattle.
Okay.
And he was like, my God.
He was good.
Like, I loved A-Rod before even really knowing anything about him. His power to right center as a right-handed hitter.
Speed, rocket it short. I mean, that's when he was really, lanky still, hadn't really, developed. He was a kid, 18, 19. He was, and the thing about Alex, I don't know if there's, now, the thing that you have to appreciate about Alex at this point is that he owns his mistakes. Like, he complicated his world. Yeah. Like, he made it more tougher than it needed to be. But nobody loves baseball like that guy. And I don't think very many people know baseball like Alex. That was good stuff right there.
BT Sal on the Fan. Guys, by now, you've heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over a million of these amazing shirts. That line gets me every time. I don't know why that's the case. These shirts are so good, and of course they would sell over 1 million of these amazing things. Well, Collars & Co. just came out with a new Maverick Performance Blazer. This blazer is sharp and wrinkle-resistant, so you can travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag, and it will remain wrinkle-free. It even comes with security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So visit collarsandco.com and check them out today.
I'm Michael Jenkins here to help you beat the books for the BetMGM Network. We're going to the Diamond tonight, taking the Brewers on the money line over the Cubs. Brewers offense was dominant in game 1 of the series, hanging 9 runs. And the Cubs are starting Shota Imanaga tonight. He was great in the regular season, but in the playoffs this year has an ERA of 4.50. It'll be Aaron Ashby for the Brew Crew. He's a bullpen guy, but we expect the Brewers offense to carry them to a win. Take Milwaukee on the money line. I'm Michael Jenkins from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books, and download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Build monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
At the United Healthcare Medicare store, right here in Jackson Heights, you can chat face-to-face with a licensed sales agent who understands the community and get clear answers to your questions. We're located at 3752 82nd Street between Roosevelt and 37th Ave. We're ready to help.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer. Now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody!
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
The Fox Nation Patriot Awards returns for a new year.
Are you ready to get the show started?
Join host Sean Hannity and special guests and be part of the celebration live in New York. Tickets are available now. Go to foxnation.com/Patriot Awards.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what's to do with your unwanted bills? Maybe turn them into paper airplanes headed to See Ya Never AT&T and T-Mobile. Jokes aside, the best 5G network has you covered with the most ways to save on plans, streaming, and phone deals. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metric True Score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Hey, this is Tiki Barber. Those of us living in New Jersey got hit with a 20% electric rate increase. If your current heating system is over 15 years old, it's time for a new high-efficiency Carrier system. And there's only one company to call for a new one. My friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts for over 38 years. Older heating systems waste gas. So get your system checked now and save money with Edison Heating and Cooling. Contact them now at edisonhvac.com. That's edisonhvac.com.
Listen weekdays from 1 to 2 on the Fan for the call of the day with BT and Sal, brought to you by Wind Creek Bethlehem. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
In St. Pete, Clearwater, you can chill by the crystal clear Gulf.
And stroll downtown St. Pete's galleries and murals.
And hang with the locals at a fishing pier.
And escape to secluded white sand beaches.
Secluded, huh?
Yeah, and they're spectacular.
And then grab a sandwich at the Grouper capital of the world.
And maybe a nightcap at a rooftop bar with sunset views.
Okay, in St. Pete, Clearwater, you'll find just what you're looking for.
And then some.
Your Florida escape begins at visitspc.com.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Wellness isn't just what you do, it's what you absorb, hydrate, and fuel with. At Terra Origin, we combine ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with modern science to support your whole body from the inside out. Gut health for balance, healthy hydration for performance, healthy greens for clean energy and recovery. Because when your body's in sync, everything else flows. Find your formula today at TerraOrigin.com and use code RADIO to save 25% off your first order. Terra Origin, rooted in tradition, built for now.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Put WFAN in your contact list. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. 888-808-1019, the number to call. We'll finish up on the phones here. Boy, that was a lot of fun talking with A-Rod there. I know you had the chance to hang out with him, obviously, but fun. I've never interviewed him before, so it was the first time I got to talk to him. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, listen, I said before, and he's a baseball guy through and through. And even Derek said this, like, Derek doesn't sit there and watch baseball game after baseball game. Like, Derek, even though he does, pre and post, is fairly disconnected to the game. But Alex is special in the regard that I just don't know many people that love baseball the way he does. He's a baseball lifer. He's a gym rat.
Yeah,
always has been.
And there's no way, like, A-Rod's got more money than you would need. So and by the way, he loves the game so much that's why I asked him the manager's question, because I believe he loves it so much that he would like to do that, but I mean that's a completely different lifestyle.
He's got the T-Wolves too. I don't even know. Are you allowed to? I don't know if he would have to renounce or abdicate the piece of the T-Wolves.
Let me ask you this: you think he'd be great manager?
I do.
Me too.
I definitely do.
And the game would benefit from him being in it in uniform.
Oh yeah.
Which is why, he's too on a different level.
I know he is.
To go back and do that. The broadcasting thing, like he said, All-Star Game, playoffs, whatever. Yeah. Fox postseason, which is great to watch him have fun with Burkhardt and Poppy and Jeter. But man, he's such a brilliant baseball mind, such a great baseball player, the old school approach, but smart enough to adapt to some of the new school stuff. I really think the game and whatever team would hire him would benefit from having him being a little more hands-on.
I know your favorite part was, wow, boys.
Yeah.
Get excited about
I was afraid to ask because he says 86 Met. I don't want to blow up his spot and, have him be caught for something that he's, I don't want to
he's
hear.
a Mets fan. He was a Mets fan growing up.
As long as me and A-Rod have that in common. We're both diehard Mets fans. 86 year to remember. I just wanted to make sure.
I understand. Put him through the test.
Can you imagine me pulling up to his house holding the VHS and a VHS player?
Like Mitchell showed up to your house. Hey, Alex, I'm here. Knock, knock. Is Alex home? Who's that? Sal?
Come on. What are we going to do with this VHS? He doesn't have a VCR player in there. I'll bring one, A-Rod. I'll bring the chips. A little dip. Kenny's calling from Union County. What's up, Kenny?
Hey, bud.
Yeah, hey, how you guys doing? I really respect your opinions, and I want to bring up a sore subject with A-Rod about the whole steroid era and how you would have approached the conversation. I know it's probably wasn't top of your mind at this point, but there's still a heaviness from all athletes, especially a guy like him who did have a tremendous career. You are putting him on a level of a baseball fanatic, and I do agree, but we still have that complete heaviness and that asterisk next to guys like him and Bonds. When is that ever going to be really, addressed, and will there ever be, in your opinion, some kind of conclusion?
Well, I really think it's a great question, Kenny. I think that the conclusion for many's already been made. You either penalize Alex and Bonds and McGuire and Sosa and Clemens, even though he didn't, if you think Clemens did whatever you think he did, and I do, I can't prove it, but I think that, then you will you'll always hold it against him, or you'll understand that it was a different time. I look at it this way. I've always said, first, I almost took steroids in college. When this topic comes up, I am very forthright. I almost took them. And I had a guy on campus. I almost took him. I'm never going to lie about that. So if I'm coming up, and this was 1996, if I'm coming up and I'm a fringe baseball player when a lot of my peers are doing it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it to put food on my table. If I'm a good player, I'm going to do it to be a great player. If I'm a great player, I'm talking about the mindset of young 22-year-old BT, not adult dad now. If I'm a great player, I'm going to take him to be an all-time iconic player. That was 20, 30 years ago. It's very different. And listen, Alex paying the price. Yankees don't invite him back for Old Timers Day except the one time. He's not in the Hall of Fame, but I think he's owned it. And that's one of the things that I appreciate about this version of true story. When we sat down for lunch, he actually said this to me. He goes, I remember, he goes, you called me corny like 20 years ago. And I did. And I wasn't the biggest Alex Rodriguez fan back then because I thought that he complicated his life. And this version of a grown man in his 50s who understands that he made mistakes and could cop to it and could come clean and say, I messed up, man. I mean, I don't know what else. You want to throw him in Times Square and stone him? You want to hang him? What do you want to do to the guy?
Well, did Bonds come out and admit PED use?
No.
Did Clemens come out and admit PED use?
Kicking and screaming.
A-Rod did. So it doesn't absolve him. My question to him would be, and I'm not going to do that today because it's not the first thing on my mind. It's so many years past. Plus, he's already admitted to doing it. So maybe a deeper conversation at another point would be like, why? Because the same question to Bonds, to me, Bonds is the best player I've ever seen, period. Before PEDs, after PEDs. Like, before PEDs, he was the best player I've ever seen. After PEDs, he became otherworldly superhuman. A-Rod was so good. Like, to me, Sammy Sosa needed PEDs to get to another level. A-Rod did not.
Yeah.
But he knows he made a mistake for whatever reason. End of story. And I'm with you. Like, initially, after the lying to Francesa and all that stuff, it's such a bad look. Like, you just got to be real and authentic. He has turned the corner. However it was that he had that epiphany, it happened to him. And he's become much more likable because of it, where he can sit there and joke even with us, just be like, well, I made some mistakes. I put myself in a tough spot. He did it. He knows he did it. It's unfortunate, but he's got to live with the repercussions of that, unfortunately. But it's a reality. He's still one of the greatest baseball players I've ever seen, and he's also not the only one to do PEDs.
Let's call it for what it is. I mean, he even brought up, third base and shortstop. I mean, Derek Jeter couldn't shine his shoes. That's always been my opinion. I mean, Alex Rodriguez, the baseball. Now, Derek.
Very few could.
That's true. That's true. I mean, you're talking about Willie Mays and Babe Ruth. Well, you talk about, again, reconciling the aspect of the PEDs, but if you just talk about pure baseball history and just greatness. I mean, honestly, you can rifle through names like Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Alex Rodriguez, Tris Speaker. Like you could pick the Bonds, the 20 greatest names in the history of the game. He did it. He's owned up. I think by owning up, because I would think that when you conceal something that long, you're guarded, which is probably why he made his life tougher than he needed to. I think he's kind of an open book now. I think he's able to laugh at himself, and I think that there's been a humanizing of Alex, which is incredibly refreshing. And then you combine that with his baseball knowledge, it's a great conversation.
You know, one thing for sure, when I go to A-Rod's place in L.A., not only bringing that 86 Mets tape a year to remember, we bringing some Surfside. It's football season. Make Surfside your tailgate must have. Real vodka, real brew tea, just 100 calories, only 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. Easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. You could drink it all day long. It's delicious. All the flavors are great. As for it, wherever you tailgate, must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
There you go. All right, our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical, but did you know that those projects are built by local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium. And the one before that, the stadiums that give us all the wins. That's why there's the advocacy organization, ELEC. The Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute, sponsored by WeatherGuard Truck and Van Equipment. They're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. The Philadelphia Eagles blew a 17-3 lead to the Broncos on Sunday. The stunning part was they only gave the ball to star running back Saquon Barkley 6 times, just once in the second half. Receiver A.J. Brown had been complaining they don't pass enough. Apparently, the team listened, but it might have cost them the game. I'm Andrew Perloff.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their tools, but to protect their professional reputations. Whether it's inside or outside of work vehicles, a WeatherGuard badge means pros can trust that their hard-earned name is in good hands. Since 1968 and every day since, WeatherGuard has been protecting anything it takes to build a professional reputation. WeatherGuard, established in 1968, proven every day. WeatherGuard.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday this season, all the way through the AFC Championship game. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Trying to find the right car at the right price? Yeah, right. Well, Ramsey Auto Group makes it easy. Visit any Ramsey location or RamseyCars.com for a great selection of low-priced certified pre-owned vehicles. And we'll even buy your car or current lease. Get the right car at the right price right here.
Save a lot. RamseyCars.com.
Hey, it's Jerry Recco. If you're facing hair loss like I am, I would like to share my journey at Great Many, New York City's cutting-edge hair growth studio. Looking to regrow your hair safely and effectively? Forget those risky pills with scary side effects and costly trips to Turkey. At Great Many, they use PRP, regenerative medicine trusted by pro athletes for recovery. It's a natural, non-surgical solution that really works. Check out my journey and visit greatmany.com/fan to learn more and save $200 today. Don't hesitate. Take action now like I have. Go to greatmany.com/fan to book your treatment or get a free consultation.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-351-4596. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-351-4596. 800-351-4596. 800-351-4596.
Run or walk with Giants legends. The Giants Foundation will host a 5K race and kids run presented by Quest on Sunday, October 26th at 9 a.m. at MetLife Stadium. Net proceeds will benefit the Giants Foundation. All participants will receive a commemorative t-shirt, and after the race, stay for a post-race festival with appearances by Giants legends and a live DJ. Register now at giants.com/5K. The Giants Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation.
D'Agostino, Law Bite Back. I'm injury attorney John Ryan D'Agostino, nicknamed The Closer, continuing D'Agostino and Associates' legacy of helping the injured for over 35 years. My father, John D'Agostino, built this injury firm to help accident victims.
This is John D'Agostino, and this is a family firm. For us, it's about doing what's right and making sure somebody pays for your pain. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-BITE-BACK.
They call me The Closer because big or small, in court or out, I'm fighting to get the job done, to win, to get you every dollar you deserve.
D'Agostino and Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan. Call of the Day with Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata on The Fan.
Today's Call of the Day brought to you by Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. John is in Valley Stream. What's up, John?
Joe Shane is a moron. a ghetto bum level moron. What talent has this man brought into this team? The answer is nothing. What has he done? And we're still talking about Daboll.
Well, Daboll's the head coach, John.
And who brought him in?
Yeah, we've gotten into Joe Shane. So I'm not sure what, you want us to...
No, but he's the only conversation, and you're missing that.
No, he's not.
Daboll doesn't matter.
First of all, John, it takes a while. You don't want to hear this. It takes a while for a general manager to fully have his imprint on
4 years!
Yeah, okay, it's 5 weeks into year 4.
No, but you have 4 years
John,
busted draft classes. This is insanity.
How many quarterbacks has Shane taken?
How many quarterbacks?
In the drafts.
Quarterbacks, yeah. Do I stutter? How many quarterbacks has Shane taken, John?
Stutter, but you're insane today.
How many quarterbacks?
Big deal. He can't fill out a roster. Are you blind?
I'm not saying he could or not. I'm saying you're looking in the wrong spot.
The wrong spot? The 2023 draft.
Are you a
not
Giant?
one player.
Are you a Giant fan?
No. I'm calling you because I'm a Bills fan.
I'm asking you.
Do I need to state the obvious now?
Okay,
or is it going to go completely bonkers?
I'm going to ask you another question. Do you like Jackson Dart?
You want to stay with these two guys for another year? You lost your mind.
Do you like Jackson Dart, John?
I don't know if I like Jackson Dart.
Okay, and I can't do it. You know what just hit me there, BT? That is Giants Joe Beningo. John,
yeah, the voice went up. Yeah, Joe, I was thinking the same thing. Joe sounded like that once in a while. What?
Well, right? Anytime he calls, he is Giants Joe Beningo. That was our call of the day right there. Obviously, look, we know it hasn't been pretty for either of these football teams. It was ugly over the weekend for the Yankees. Hopefully that could get corrected tomorrow, get back to some winning ways. Rangers start tomorrow night. Knicks later on this month. So maybe better days lie ahead. Unfortunately, we're in an all too familiar spot with our football teams being dreadful yet again.
We will turn the page tomorrow. The anger from yesterday's awful Yankee performance will dissipate. We charge ourselves up. Hopefully the Yankees play ball, play well. Eventually, we will get to a point where we're looking forward to watching Jackson Dart play again. The one thing that will not change for me is I really don't care about the Jets.
Steve in Howard Beach does want to talk about those Jets. Steve?
Before I do that, Alex Rodriguez was the most hyped prospect in 30-plus years. He never needed to do steroids. That's number one. Number two, if the Yankees lose this series, you got to get Mattingly in. That is your fix for the New York Yankees. I don't care what anyone says. That is the type of ass-whooping teacher the Yankees need. Number 3, I respect Aaron Glenn, but the Jets ain't winning unless they get a quarterback. You need 2 leaders in the modern-day NFL to win football games. 1, head coach, 2, quarterback. If you don't have number 2, you ain't winning.
What if you have one of them?
Yeah, well, I mean, do we even know if they have one of them?
No, I'm just saying in general. Like, if you have one of them. Well, if you had one of them, you'd rather have the quarterback. Well, let me ask the question. Would you rather have...
I'd rather have the head coach myself.
Really?
Yeah.
I was going the other way
Just
initially.
building a foundation, which I understand. I do ultimately think it takes both. Because if you build a foundation as a head coach and you really are solid and you're a good team, eventually you're going to need the quarterback to get you to the next level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, it's an impossible question to answer because it's both. Can a great young quarterback overcome look at Herbert? He was a great quarterback, right? Or a hyped quarterback. How'd they do before Harbaugh arrived?
Underachieving, yeah. I think the one place where you can probably still win a championship, I would think, is if you have a great quarterback and a good coach. Like the Bills. Like McDermott's good. He's not great. Allen is
And
great.
we'll see,
last night aside.
Yeah, but we'll see what they do. I mean, they still haven't gotten to a Super Bowl, so we can look and say they have the great quarterback, but has the head coach been great?
Lamar and John, when they're right, that John Harbaugh, that's a pretty...
But even they haven't gotten to a Super Bowl together.
It's a pretty good combination. You got Mahomes and Reeves. You've got... Sirianni's not a great coach.
That's what I mean.
Isn't a great quarterback. It's weird.
But yet they won. There's multiple ways to do it, and yet we got 2 teams here, and neither one can figure out a good way to do it.
0 for 2, 0 for 2. Nah, I do like Dart. And I'm rooting for Glenn. Yeah, I know. Dable, not believing in him. Fields, not believing in him. I'm still holding out hope that Glenn is the guy, and I do believe that Jackson Dart is the guy. The other component's not feeling it.
And Boone better be careful.
Nah.
Come on, Boone, get off the mat here.
If they lose tomorrow,